Like, it's such a bullshit number. Like, oh, we're 120 million. We grown from 60. Oh yeah, but everything's down. But that does. They're down at everything. But Game Pass, they didn't put a percentage though. They just said, and Game Pass subscribers were up. Yeah. Up to what? Oh, no percentage, nothing. Just how they get away with this shit? I don't understand. People not just with a mic right up their ass saying entities answer.
All right, we are live. Let me get with the audience. Yeah, yo.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, yo. Yo, what's up, my friends, my fellow gamers? It's your only friend, these YouTube streets, Porter77, and we are back with another 60 Frames No Like podcast episode. I have no damn idea. I lost count years ago, but you know what? We're here together. We got some, yo. I barely got the thing started. Shout out to Kratos. He's like, P-Rock, you late again. He dropped the 50. He's like, P-Rock, you late again. Laughing, I think you drinking too much. Yo, I'm drinking salty tears, bro. And there's no endless supply of this. Yo, what's up, people? Hey, we got a great show. I got a great guest. I can't think of a more perfect guest to have on this day, right? We got the crew. I mean, we got some news from 10 minutes ago. I mean, this is craziness. Like my boy Jay Barry, this is craziness. And speaking of Jay Barry, what's going on, my brother?
Yo, what is good, guys, man? Jay Barry is going to be a good one, man, because I see some interesting, I see the title, which is going to be very interesting. I'm seeing this backdrop over here.
Yo.
You know what I mean? It's coming. You know what I mean? We told you guys that the price is coming. The price increase is coming. Phil even told y'all last year it's coming. Not only with the price increase with Game Pass, but the games and the console. The console ain't selling shit now, but with a price increase, they still ain't going to sell shit either.
Game Pass.
Yes, sir, man. I'm seeing bots lose it today, man. They say they're gonna wait the 2 years just to play a certain game. It's crazy over there, man.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to J-Road the Man 47, new member to the channel. Hey, welcome to 60 Frames No Like family. Hope you stick around. 2023 is gonna be big. We're gonna see some good growth, and I'm glad you're gonna be, a part of the family. And I hope you enjoy it. I hope I'm able to deliver everything that you want. So shout out to J-Ro. All right. Hey, we're gonna talk about some Forspoken, Barry. Right? We need some answers here. We gotta have the discussion about Square Enix on what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about it, right? Okay. But who else we got up here? Of course, we got
good game. I should go play it.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna J Marvin, this is my boy. You know what, man? I will ride to hell and back with you. You know what I'm saying? From shout out to the voice of Xbox, the Messiah.
Hey, what's happening?
Hey,
shout out to everybody here. Shout out to the chat.
What's going on, my brother?
Not a whole lot. Playing a little Forspoken and enjoying it.
I'm just saying. I heard PC Nation clap back. They'd be like, "Where's your PS5 5036 CU at now?" Trying to talk shit to the 4090. They didn't like those 4090 jokes you were making. they were a bit perturbed.
Well, they can suck the high hard one. They can't. That system, their 4090s can't run that game.
Yeah, neither can the PS5 apparently.
Well, my PS5 is running it fine.
7020p. 720p.
Well, they're using a variation resolution. That's what they're doing.
720p.
If I play
don't fall for the trap, P-Rock. You fall for the trap.
I'm saying, but let me ask you this: does it go down to 720p or not?
I haven't seen that, but you got to understand, I'm playing on a beautiful OLED screen with VRR and all that.
But it's still 720. Listen, I don't know if it does. But here's my question: here's what I do know. Listen, hold on. I'm not a resolution whore by any means.
Yeah, me either. Yeah,
by any means, right? You guys know I hardly dip in that topic, but if I got a $500 next generation PlayStation console and that sucker's doing 720p. We need to have a conversation here. Like, wait, what?
Oh yeah.
Well, what is it? Why?
I don't know if it is or not.
What's happening in 720p?
I don't know. But I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you though. Like that's why I need to add. Like, let me ask you this. I'll say this: Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West did not go down to 720p. And looking at both images, Horizon Forbidden West looks graphically much better than Forbidden.
But you're comparing why are you comparing a first-party IP to a third-party IP? You should not do that.
Why not? Nah. I'm not gonna do that. I am doing that. I am doing that
because you definitely can compare it because it's both a PlayStation. One is a PlayStation 5 exclusive, so it should be taken or it should be on par with the looks. But what I'm saying is that
what I'm talking about.
When it comes to Forspoken, we're we're missing context here. 720p, it would drop. Trying to sustain the frame rate when you're playing in performance mode. You're not playing in 720p throughout your whole time. You barely see that because we listen to Digital Foundry and they give you one example of, we see a dip as low as 720p here in this scenario. All of a sudden, the Twitterverse, everybody think the game runs in 720p.
720p,
I'm playing in 4K in this game because I'm playing in quality focus and I'm playing in 120 hertz. So I'm playing in 4K, 40, 50 frames, 60 frames for when I'm playing with the mode that I'm playing the game. If you're playing in performance mode and you don't have like a HDMI 2.1 type of TV or monitor, and there's going to be that moment where, Digital Foundry show you where the game could drop resolution to 720p to maintain the frames.
We're going to take.
Let me ask you a question.
No, hold on. I got to do the intros. We're going to table. We're going to continue from that point on, right? But of course, we got Project Cloud. Project. You ready? All right, we'll go.
Oh no, I thought that was an announcement from Xbox.
No.
I was like, what?
No. It is. We got, what's going? Have you started playing Callisto Protocol yet, or you're avoiding it still?
Nope. Hey, that's a good game too. I'm smashing the hell out of those things.
Okay, so what's going on, Project? How you doing?
Living the dream, man.
Alrighty then. All right, my brother. I'm glad you're here. Let me raise your volume up a little bit more. All right, brother. All right, and then we got Extreme. Extreme is back.
Hey guys.
Hey, quick question.
Yo.
Is Forspoken trash but not bad?
It's whether it sucks or isn't bad.
Does it suck but it's not bad?
I can't tell you. I've got the game. I haven't played it yet. I'll tell you next week.
Oh, is this the category? Does Forspoken fall into that category? It
could.
It sucks, but it's not bad.
It could, man. It really could.
Shit. No, I'm just messing
but
with
it's not a game as a service, so it has chances.
That's it. So it has a chance to survive. All right. And now, everybody, to introduce the guests, right? And today's a great day because, boy, if there's any day that's grinding his gears, it's today. We got Jez. Technically not the first time, but I don't count last week. That was like a impromptu. This is legitimate intro, first time on the podcast, the full thing. Jez, what's going on, my brother?
Yo, what's up, man? How you doing, man? I'm so happy to be here. Yeah, last week was like a sneak peek. Yeah, it was like a preview. Like, at the end of the episode, they go like, "Hey, what's this for next week?" A teaser. That's
it's like that. It's like the end of a Marvel movie where the credits goes up and all of a sudden that's what it was. It was just the introduction.
Rolling the credits.
That's rolling the credits and boom, Jez is there.
That's it. I'm like, and go grind my gears. And it's like, tune in next week.
Anyway. Now you're part of the Porter Rock verse. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, man, that's awesome. Thank you.
It's official, man. Yeah, I'm glad you're here.
I can't wait. I'm happy I'm here. Can't wait. This is great. I was looking forward to it. Thank you, everybody. Hit that like button, damn it. And we're going to get into this stuff because there's going to be things that grind my gears. And I'm sure it's going to be grinding other people's gears as well. Let's go.
All right. So we're going to go, but now we could go back to Forspoken. Right?
Oh, now here's my question.
Right.
No, wait, I'm going to answer my question here. Digital Foundry said about the 720p, right? Were they like perplexed and going like, I don't know if we need to contact a developer on this? Like, did they come in there and do the Xbox thing where they say it should patch it? Maybe they could patch it in that it's a bug. Yeah, exactly. They didn't do the bug out there. They just said it's 720p and they put a stamp of Digital Foundry on it. They didn't say we're going to reach out to the devs and wonder why it's dropping so low or it's a bug or maybe an update will fix this. Nothing like that, right?
Nothing like that. It's not surprising because I know
it's not surprising.
If you've been in this community long enough, people would take that one little bit of information and they deem, this game is 720p. But
Heaven forbid if blades of grass are missing on the Xbox version or reflections are missing on the Xbox version, and they're like, "Oh, this we gotta let the developers know to pack this in."
Let me throw this Major League curveball, right? Let me ask this question, even though it's probably not often, but is there? And I'm gonna ask Jay Bart because you're currently playing the game. Is there anything on the screen when you look at it that makes you think, yeah, I see why it goes down to 720p? Like, it doesn't scream graphical masterpiece to me. I could maybe understand. Like, I look at it, I'm like, holy shit. Like, yo, this thing is making the PS5 cry. Is there anything in the game that when you look at it, you're like, yo, how the fuck is this thing even booting up? This is like next level fucking, excuse my language. I'm sorry, I apologize. YouTube, please don't demonetize me. This is freaking, next level.
They coming.
It's like, Jibber, I'm asking you, like when you look at the game, do you see anything that, like, holy cow, look how masterpiece graphically this is? It makes sense why it might go down to as low as 720.
The game itself is not like I wouldn't say it's like a bar setup graphically. It's a great looking game. Don't get it twisted. I think the game is a great looking game, but the reason why you can say something like that is going to 720p, especially with the part that they show, because that's a much later part. It's because of the particle effects, all the magical effects and everything.
So this is
no
crazy.
different than like Eternal. It's a lot of
lots of effects, lots of zombies.
Lots of zombies. Well,
lots of New York slang. She's saying she's dropping F-bombs everywhere. It's just
heavy New York accents.
The part where Digital Foundry showed was a part where there's like 100 and something zombies that you're fighting, what they call break zombies that you're fighting. So they're saying in this scenario, if you are playing in performance mode, not having a TV with next gen capabilities like HDMI 2.1, if you play in performance mode, just to keep that 60 frames with everything that you're doing,
it's going to drop.
Scenarios where it would drop to 720p.
Right. And that makes
That's
sense.
What people is missing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now, Jay Barry's right, because I'm playing it in ray tracing mode, and I've not had one issue. I mean, I couldn't see it drop anyway, but I don't know what it is in ray tracing mode.
So what modes do they have?
Why are you paying in ray tracing? I don't see a lot of changes in the ray tracing.
Yeah, what modes do they have?
Yeah, well,
I did. Ray tracing made the
light in the shadows?
Well, not shadows. When she put that cuff on, that scene alone, the ray tracing was phenomenal. When she walks out of the courthouse and she has the white hat on, the street lights are kind of reflecting. You can see the path of the ray. I mean, it looks good. I mean, it's nothing to write home about. I agree.
All right, hey, real quick. Hey, for the audience, tell us what modes are available, starting from the very top. 4K fidelity. Break it down real quick.
Yeah, there's 6 modes. So you have
six modes.
Quality focus.
Yeah. Quality focus. And what's that?
Quality focus.
Break it down.
Where it's 4K resolution
at 30 frames.
I believe that would be 30.
4K 30 fidelity.
Then you have ray tracing. That's like
4K ray tracing
highlights everything.
But is that at 4K 30?
I don't know if ray tracing is 4K.
I don't know if ray tracing is 4K.
I think ray tracing was like at 1440p.
That shit. 1440p, 30 frames.
It's enhanced graphics and everything in ray tracing mode. Then you have performance mode.
Now that's
60 frames.
That's 60 frames. Okay, and I'm assuming that's that variable resolution shit, right? That what's it called?
Yeah, that's rare.
Dynamic.
I said variable resolution shit. That's how. Hey, I coined that. I'm a trademark that. I'm a offer Sony
variable resolution.
I'm a offer them VRS, and Sony's gonna be like.
I think there's another mode. like the 720p mode. It's the Xbox Series S simulator.
Oh, I'm gonna create that, yo. I'm gonna get into programming, and I'm gonna coin that shit. I'm gonna sell that shit. They're gonna be like, I'm gonna sell them VRS. They're like, so what's that? Variable resolution shit. Like they're gonna be like, what?
The dynamic scale resolution is where
what's
I feel like the game could need. Oh, that's just the tech that's using the game. So like there's certain parts in the game where, let's say you're not focused on this specific part.
Yeah.
Resolution or like the detail is not like highlighted because you're not looking at it, you're not focused on that part. I forgot what it's called, but you can notice that sometimes when you're just looking at a distance, like, okay, you're not focusing here, you focus on this aspect here.
Now,
the other three modes is just all those three modes
was the VRS
in 120 hertz.
Oh, VR, the VR. Oh, so they add extra frames.
No. And again, they have modes specifically on there for people who have the TVs that can handle it, and then they, like Bari's saying, they have modes on there for the people who can't, because most people don't have these brand new OLEDs. Most don't, and so that's what cracks me up about it. It's like, when you have this type of TV, you're in like the top 20% of TV owners when you get these OLEDs and stuff like that. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but Jay Bari's right. As soon as these cats saw that number, they're not going to listen to nothing else, because they're moist. So they're just going to run with it. They're already mad that Xbox don't have the game in the first place.
It's a console war.
But besides the Xbox guys, right? When I hear to me, this is to me, I think it's an optimization issue, right? Because if there's games that are, let's say, yes, I'm gonna use a first party like Sony, because to me that's how you keep third party in check. In my opinion,
I agree.
That's the whole point of the first party. That's one of the strengths of first party. Yep. And first party, like Horizon Forbidden West, you have a much more beautiful game, and their shit is nowhere near dropping. Hell, their shit don't even drop to 1080p. Then I look at third party, I'd be like, are you being lazy? Because remember, the people responsible to get the most out of the console is the first party. They're the ones that's going to demonstrate to the world this is what you can do. Third party, only very few. I would say Rockstar is probably one of the few that has that standard.
Yeah, I agree. Rockstar and maybe
so when I see
Capcom,
Square Enix have their games, I'm like, is it really the particle effects, or are you guys not really? Or does your engine suck? Like, do you think Luminous is a good engine?
Look, the only game that's out on that PS5 the only game that's out on the PS5 that slightly touches what this thing can do is a first-party game called Ratchet and Clank. That thing is doing a little bit of everything that Sony said the PS5 can do. And Insomniac said they still had plenty of overhead. And that's with them streaming all those assets in. So they're not even Naughty Dog did that with the Last of Us video game. There's next-gen features on there, but they didn't have to do that. Their engine did not have to do that in order for them to get the experience. But no, I just think that I think we should wait to maybe the fourth year before you really start seeing
And that's what's pissing me. You know what? That's what pisses me off.
We're in the third year right now. We're in the third year.
The thing that pisses me off, I think, right now. What pisses me off is I think because of how I knew x86 was going to come at a cost. I knew it when Sony announced and Xbox announced they're going full 86. I'm like, great idea. But I already see it's going to come at a cost, because when the next generation of platforms come, they're both the same architecture. I knew this whole cross-gen thing was even going to be more of a factor, right? And because of that, they're delaying the whole, hey, let's start developing, next-gen only games. Let's really get, into it. It's not like the past consoles, which was PowerPC. Every new console they made, right from the get-go, they went all in. Day one. Even before it launched, they went all in, right? So sometimes you already saw a sneak peek of, holy shit, look at this launch title. Good things are coming, right? But now because of this x86, there's a delay because they don't want to abandon the previous generation. So now, like, when does next generation really begin? Like it's almost like 3.
Well,
and then we really won't see. We won't really see.
Ratchet and Clank shows you what that console can do. Now, the game that Sony's working on with Haven Studios, that's going to do something different. So it's going to be
at the end of the day.
It's going to be designed. Yeah.
At the end of the day, Forspoken is not a bad looking game by any means.
I agree.
I don't look that bad.
It's exaggerating because, like I said, everybody's playing different modes. We talking about 720p. I've never seen this game drop to 720. I'm not playing in that mode.
Does the frame rate remain consistent, or you see the frame rate drops?
Yeah, absolutely.
My frame rate
playing at
counter
120 hertz. So.
Oh, okay.
And my frame rate counter's consistent. With that said, I'm sure I'm because I had to fight some type of big dragon or big something, and it was dropping, but it was my TV. You can see it fighting to push the frame back up again. It was actually pretty cool to actually see gravity. The TV tech. Well, it was fighting, and the particle effects was something else. I was like, wow, these particle effects are really good. But I was in ray tracing mode, and even the hot dog stand she went by, the hot dogs had ray tracing. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to J-Ro, the man.
People was exaggerating. The thing is, what troubles me about the gaming community is that somebody I played the game. I got about 8-9 hours in the game. I could tell you what I'm experiencing. I could show it to you on Twitter, YouTube. Motherfuckers that ain't playing the game will still doubt it. It was like, oh shit, this nigga this dude full of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm showing you and I'm telling you. And then everybody's just denying.
Yeah, but
I just keep saying.
But the thing is, though, is that the game, there's a demo that everybody could try out to see how it looks, how it runs, and things like that as well. Like it's so like and that's what I think too. Like having demos and having people just have hands on with it, and even updating the demo, like it gives people the decision rather than relying on tons of just reviews or just kind of craziness on Twitter or on YouTube. Basically, I see Puerto Rock throwing the New York Giants hat. God damn it. What a horrible game. I was done after the first quarter.
I'm proud of my
you know what?
I'm proud of my Giants.
Time for...
I'm not saying the game is perfect at all.
For baseball.
The game do have issues.
I find it's inconsistent. And so, like, I have it. I didn't play it yet, but Frog was showing it. I was watching him last night playing. And, like, I see just inconsistencies a little bit with the main character and the NPCs. Like, they don't look they look like they're two different worlds.
In my personal opinion, the NPCs look amazing. It's just certain things like
I will say this.
In the city? Like that's what I was the beginning. I just saw the beginning.
Yeah, in the city as well. Graphical like consistencies, I feel like it has issues there. I feel like the lighting, it's a little bit too like crazy. Like it could be hella bright. Like they need more natural lighting. You know what I mean? Like if I'm going out the sun, I should be like, they had this like blind, like a flashbang kind of lighting. Nah, it doesn't look natural. You know what I mean? And that's my biggest issues with the game. But as far as whenever you play the game, I don't know when you guys gonna play the game. Whenever you play it, I'm pretty sure when people wait for a sale, and then we're gonna have Forspoken talks again, which is gonna be deja vu. Cause you're like, you know what, J Bar, it doesn't look that bad. Now that I played it for $20, you know what I mean? You know how the gaming community can.
Well, it's just, there's different standards. There's a standard at $70, and then there's a standard at $20.
Or years later, because they're gonna play the game for a much cheaper price.
Yeah, for $5.
This is not as bad as I thought it was.
For $5.
No shit.
Hey, you know what it goes back to, J-Bar? You know what it goes back to? They immediately run and say, it ain't worth $70. Again, the bitching broke talk is always going to come up because that's what they're going to run to.
It was definitely more subdued this time because Xbox increased their prices to $70. So it wasn't as apparent. It was much more subdued. I think they would immediately went there if Xbox was still the consumer-friendly company that they thought it was.
I feel like people are just exaggerating with the game. Like I said, play it yourself. If you got a 4K HDMI 2.1 TV, you're gonna play the game in a beautiful light. It's gonna look good. Like I said, if it's perfect, no, it's not perfect at all. You know what I mean? When it comes to the quality and look, do I want the game to look better? Absolutely. I'm playing Horizon. I play God of War. I played better looking open world games. Of course, I want to look better. I posted that on Twitter. So my criticism, but people making this outlandish claims that the game doesn't look good or it's not performing good, they're full of shit.
But I'm gonna
say that. Guess what?
So I'm gonna say because it's just like
they're not playing it. It's like my part when her apartment was on fire. I'm like, everybody was saying, well, the fire don't look that good. I'm like, the hell with that. They got me chasing a damn pussycat. This is trash. The cat's got to go. I mean, people before animals, right? You got to get on up out of there. So. But yeah, and she still got put in jail. I laughed my ass off at that part.
Hey, but to be fair, though,
like the dialogue claims, right?
But I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. To be fair, the pendulum swings. The pendulum swings both ways, right? Like, let's say if this was an Xbox game, would we be making the same comments? Probably not.
This is the Xbox game. We wouldn't be here talking about it. The criticism wouldn't be there. Everybody be talking about why can't we play games for fun? What happened to the fun factor?
But isn't that what we're doing? But isn't that what's happening? But isn't Forspoken being talked about in the same way? Just try it out for yourself. I'm enjoying it. Ignore everything and all the criticism. It's the same thing.
I'm not saying ignore no criticism. I'm saying like there's so much people that don't have the game that want to learn so much about the game. Play the goddamn game for yourself. Yeah. If you are so interested about talking about it and all that stuff, play the game for yourself. That's it. You know what I mean? I don't understand why somebody can talk about something so much but don't want to play it. Play it yourself. You
Yeah.
got so much interest.
And it's a new IP, and people were crying about we don't have enough new IPs. And as soon as a new IP comes out, whether it's this one or Callisto Protocol, they immediately just rip on it. It's like, damn, give it a chance to breathe. You let Uncharted breathe. You let all these other games breathe. Gears of War, you let it breathe. Let these games breathe and let them come out and let people try to get to them. But I agree with Jay Barry. The people that are doing the criticisms, a lot of them are not playing or they're watching people stream it saying, I don't like it. Oh, okay. I'd say grow some nuts and make up your own mind, but everybody, you're right.
I don't and the thing is too, I don't agree with that whole Xbox claim if it was an Xbox game, because at the end of the day, any Xbox game that interests me, I have it playing on my PC. In life, I have that game playing on my PC. You know what I mean? So that's
in your case, right? That's into your case, but there are some people that did the same thing for the other side. Like you got to, like we used to say, 60 Metacritic
it's
template.
console war. Yeah,
right, it's the console war shit, right? I'm gonna say this. I don't necessarily.
Yeah, but
let me just say this. I don't agree with this one point because I know what I like, right? The whole point, like if from a consumer to a company, if you're selling me something and you want me to pay $70, you have to give me the first impression for me to pay $70. I am not obligated to pay the $70 and then make the decision after, because then it's too late. I already gave you my $70. So whether I like the game or not is irrelevant. You already got the money. I'm the opposite.
I agree.
The company has to find a way to suck me in to paying $70. If you don't attract me and if I see things that look weird, I'm gonna be like, yeah, that shit don't look good. It is what it is.
This is why I tell people play the demo. You know how many people's asking me that have PS5s or how the game is? You got the demo right there. You can play it. They are giving you if you like the game, I'm going to pre-order. I'm going to buy the game. You had the demo.
Click on it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Just to be honest with you, I think the demo and from what I'm playing the final retail version, there's some changes with that. The game feels much more faster and fluid than the demo.
Yeah.
But as far as the looks and everything, it's the same shit. So if you're interested in how the game look and all that stuff, play the demo.
Now let me ask you this. You play the demo, and then you put your review opinion on Twitter, and then Square Enix could be like, "Oh no, but that's not the final build though."
They're telling the truth.
Then what?
But
let me say. Listen. I know they're telling the truth, but I'm asking. So what does that mean to me then? I played the demo. I played the demo. I don't like it, and I was going to. Oh, wait, hold on, Puerto Rock. It's not the final build. Then what?
They're telling you the truth.
If you play the demo and you don't like it, you're not understanding. I have no issues with somebody not liking the demo that they play. That's no issues.
You're not understanding.
I don't have an issue with that.
You're not understanding.
If them saying it's not the final version, they're correct. It's not the final version. I could tell you that somebody that put a lot of hours in the demo. It's quite different.
I don't think you guys understand my point. If you show me the demo, be here, try out that game, and I play the demo and I say, I don't like it, and then you come back, but it's not the final build. Then why you have me play this shit in the first place? Like what? Again, you trying to make me try something out, and then I'd be like, this doesn't flow so good, and then you're gonna tell me, but that ain't it. Then what the hell did I play? Like why even bother? Like. That's why I'm gonna be honest. That's why I don't play them. That's what I'm saying. I don't play.
You asked the question: Is the game trash? Is it bad? No, you didn't open it with the game is trash. You're asking an open question, which what Jay Barry is saying online or on Twitter, whatever. They're not doing that. He's basically saying they're not even saying is the game this. Like you did. They're saying the game is this, and Barry's point is they haven't even played it.
I can see. That is
the game, and they just won't download the demo. Yeah, but I know what you mean. Like about this demo thing.
That's why I don't play demos.
It's rare we get demos.
I don't play demos.
It's very rare we get demos.
Yeah, I don't play demos.
Yep. And the fact that they gave you the demo, try it. Like that's I wish they did more of that.
There's no demo or beta that we have played that is the final version.
I know.
That's just the fact.
That's why I avoid it.
Tell you that is the
fact. Even the day one game is not the final version apparently because you gotta wait for patches and shit.
Yeah, that's not a lie.
You buy the game day one, that's not the final version.
Yeah, that's not even a lie because you get like 2 weeks of patches.
People can determine if they like the game, if they like the game or not. But hey, you know what I mean? That's just the nature of the beast. You know what I mean? But At the end of the day, you play the game, see if you like it. If you like it, cool. If you don't like it, cool. You can move on. But I'm just saying, like, so many people that are not playing a game have so much conversations about a game that they're not playing. That is just ridiculous to me. If I'm not interested in the game or if I didn't like something, I'm not going to keep badgering and talking about it. You know what I mean? I'm seeing people do 6-hour spaces left to right talking about something that they not or even have the opportunity to play a demo to a game on the platform that they own. Yeah, that's the most crazy
there's this one dude, I forgot who it was. He did a 5-hour space on a game and they pulled up his time. It was 5 minutes. Like, yo, how you have... I think it was Pentiment. How you talk about Pentiment for 5 hours... And when they pulled up your gamer tag, you spent 5 minutes. Like, literally, it wasn't even a troll. I was like, yo, this dude spent more hours talking than actually playing the game. Yo, that shit's wild.
It's the world we live in, man.
But I will say this.
And also, like, Pentiment, like, making just... Like, this game is definitely, at the lookout of it, like, it is a bigger game than, like, you know, it's like, oh, my God, Pentiment, get it on Game Pass. Like, dude, like you're talking about a game, like, hey, if you don't like it, don't get it. Like, I'm not the salesperson for friggin' Square Enix or Square, whatever the hell they are. Like, if you don't like it, dude, that is what it is. But, like, you know, I watched some streams and I, you know, and I was like, you know what? I played a demo. I wasn't a huge fan of the combat. You know, I was trying to learn it and stuff. I think it's a little awkward with the triggers and stuff like that. But I watched some of the story and it sounds interesting. So I was like, why not? I'm gonna try it out and play it.
All right. Well, I would say this,
and then even better, dude, you can buy it physically and then go trade it in. Remember those days? Oh my God, you can get the money back for it. Holy crap, people forget.
Buy it physical, and boom, trade that shit back in, right?
Yeah, if you're not playing it, dude, then trade in, get like $20 or maybe $1.
Right.
A slap on the ass on the way out at GameStop.
Shout out to CB3. He said, "What's up, P-Rock and panel? I have a question for the panel. Do you think Microsoft Xbox will be able to answer to what Sony is dropping in the fall holiday Spider-Man 2? Will Starfield drop in the fall?"
Oh, ask the panel then. Start with who pick your panel members.
We'll start you, Craig, because you come out with the most outlandish stuff. Me? Why not?
Depends on how they stack their games. I personally believe that if they can, I think they could drop a surprise. Like, is it tomorrow? Could get the Gears of War thing on the Unreal 5 engine, a remaster, whatever they want to call it. If that can come out in the fall, because that still has a pretty decent sized following. So yeah, I don't compare the two though. So my answer is always going to be, let's just wait and see. I don't expect Xbox's games to be as good as Sony. But with that said, are they going to actually have games come out this year? Yes. I hope they're what the community of the Xbox people can enjoy them, because they're miserable right now. They are miserable.
All right, so we'll go down the line. Extreme, what do you think with that question?
I think that obviously that they will. They have Game Pass. That's all that they need. And just the best value in gaming, that will be a little bit less valuable in a bit. But aside from that, it's good. It's good.
Okay. All right. We'll go with Jay Bari. What do you think about that question?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. It doesn't matter when Starfield drops. It's still going to be a popular game. The only factor that Microsoft has to worry about now is the fact that they took away not took away the option, but regardless of what Bethesda releases, it's a popular game. It will sell. You've seen it with Fallout 4 when it dropped in the peak of the holidays. Doesn't matter. It's going to sell gangbusters. Now that it's in Game Pass, you know what I mean? We're going to see how that plays around. But regardless of when it falls, fall, summer, it's still going to be a popular game because that core fan base is very popular. It's a very large fan base. Mm-hmm. And people like Bethesda games, regardless if you don't like it or not, or if it's bad or you're not interested in it. People like it. So,
and I think
people weren't.
Yeah, and I think
people that's worried about Starfield is not worried about Spider-Man like that. They're just gonna play Starfield.
Yeah, and I think most PC gamers are gonna buy it and not because they want to mod it and they be modding the hell and playing that game for years. So I think it's one of those games where they're gonna opt to actually buy it versus play it on Game Pass. In fact, I think I see a lot of gamers that's gonna opt. I think the people who's gonna play on Game Pass were the ones that were never really Bethesda fans. You know, they're just gonna try it, but they were never. They never actually cared about it. But they never really cared about Fallout or Elder Scrolls. But I think the people who love those games, they're gonna buy it because this is just there is a lot to it, right? Kratos99 says, "Remember what Greenberg said? Lower your expectations." Oh man, all right. Jazz.
I hope Greenberg's
He did say that. He did say that there's gonna. He did say like what we put in that press release. That's like those exactly are the games, nothing more and nothing less. That's what he said. So
what did they put in there? What are they going to show?
No, they already.
They're showing Elder Scrolls DLC. Online. They're showing Forza Motorsport. They're showing several minutes of Redfall, and they're showing Minecraft Legends.
Yeah. So
that's PlayStation ain't see that tweet.
Right? And that's it.
That's it.
Yes,
dude, that's it. And anyway, so the
Jazz,
answer
what
to
do
the question,
what do you think?
The answer is no, and I'm going to tell you, even Sony doesn't have anything bigger than Spider-Man 2. So Sony can't even beat itself here. Spider-Man 2 is going to be bigger than God of War, and there's going to be pretty much nothing, especially with they dropping it right where the movie comes out this summertime and everybody's Miles Morales kick, and boom, Spider-Man is going to take over the rest of this year from the middle of the year to the end. They're riding on that wave, and nothing's going to beat Spider-Man 2. So Sony doesn't even have anything that's going to beat Spider-Man 2 this year. And Starfield, dude, the way they're hiding that thing, like it's the Pope. Gameplay on that stuff, where is it? Who knows? They showed the gameplay, and everybody stopped talking about it and was more worried about God of War delays and $70 Last of Us Part 1 games. After they showed Starfield, that seemed to be everybody's concern, so nobody cared to talk about Starfield. It was talked about more before they showed it. So I don't know. I think Starfield has a long way to go, and I think also No Man's Sky is going to get another type of resurgence because of all the stuff that's going to be missing out of Starfield, and it's already in No Man's Sky, because Starfield needs to start where No Man's Sky ends, and already they're not doing that. So good luck to them.
So quick question. So if you're playing a game like Starfield through Game Pass, you won't have the ability to like mod the game or something like that?
I don't know.
No, because the mods are going to be through Steam, which is not part of Game Pass, unless they add some sort of modding, which I think they did add to the Windows Store, that maybe you're able to do some modding, but all the real mods, the real stuff, like the Steamworks and all that stuff, that's going to be through there. And if the game is really good and I choose to get it, I'm getting it on Steam. I'm not buying that crap through Game Pass or playing it through that Windows Store. Okay. Steam is the way to go, because guess what? The modders are going to make that game just like they're making Halo Infinite maps with Forge. That's going to be the longevity of the game, because Bethesda's not going to do it.
Well, I think almost all the Bethesda games, like Fallout,
the modders are going to put everything that's missing.
The mods take it to the next level. Project Cloud.
That's true.
Project Cloud, what do you think? And I know you're excited for Starfield. At least last time we talked about it.
Am I anymore? I don't know.
He changed his mind.
I'd like to be.
He's like, wait a minute.
Again, I'll wait until they show it again. That game just, I don't know. I would just say it's in a zone of its own right now. And sorry, do you mind asking the original question again, just so I'm hopefully responding as good as possible to that?
All right, let me. I will tell you again. Again, this is from CB3. He says, "What's up, P-Rock and panel? I have a question for the panel. Do you think Microsoft Xbox will be able to answer to what Sony is dropping in the fall/holiday, in parentheses Spider-Man 2? Will Starfield drop in the fall?"
Okay. I think it's coming out in the summer, last I heard from whatever articles about, they said there was a slight delay, but it was still kind of a summer title, so I guess that means not fall. We'll see, though, because that's a title they don't want to mess up as much as possible. Spider-Man 2 is pretty much confirmed to release in fall. I think Sony said so in a blog post, and even if they didn't, it's like, it's going to be back half.
But they did mention fall.
The other interesting...
I think Insomniac.
And the other game that I think people are... And again, we haven't seen an official announcement, but it seems like that Last of Us multiplayer game might come out maybe this year, if not probably first half 2024 or maybe Q1 2024. But there seems to be, some movement that very well could come out this year. And if it does, and it ends up being just an astonishing, story-driven experience that nobody just sees coming, like that could be like
Like an
absolute dynamite.
MMO? You think they're switching it to be?
I don't think so.
MMO?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Honestly,
not for
There'll be
factions.
some story elements to it. Multiplayer, like that's what he said. And be some story elements. There's not going to be like you can't like co-op campaign or anything, but it's going to be a multiplayer game. But there's going to be some story elements, and I would think that they were right on the hype of the TV show. So if there's news about after March, the show's over at March, right? I think St. Patty's Day. So if they start talking about it then,
it's going to be over for a lot of people next week. I was going to leave that there. There's going to be some stuff because I saw the first 4 episodes. There's some stuff that's going to push people to the brink next week. But it's a really good show. It's really, really, very well written. Very well written.
No, Starfield is still slated for the first half of the years. What people?
No, I think they're already saying it's not gonna make it the first half. So the question is,
don't say that.
Officially, it's still this half. But
I think it'd be pretty wild for them to drop it in the middle of the summertime.
I have to Google that real quick. I was like, hold on.
I can see maybe
game's coming out of first.
I think it might. I can see maybe like an August, September release. Right?
Yeah, I just think I can't see them do like E3's back and then at the end, like at E3 to like Starfield's available at E3
Yeah, I don't
or
think
something like that.
I could see August, September.
Dude, I don't know.
Right? But not too.
It sounds like July, August is what I'm sort of reading, but we'll see.
Those are some tough months to release a
I'll
big
say
game
Spider-Man,
like that. The biggest game they had.
Spider-Man, like while Starfield's, I think Bethesda game is going to be huge in my opinion too, because especially if they hit the formula similar to Fallout or Elder Scrolls, but in space, and they get it right, I think it's going to be, because those like, you got to understand it. Like I love Fallout actually in Elder Scrolls, right? That's what's funny. A lot of people come at me. Yeah, a lot of people come at me, with the whole Activision. Are you scared Microsoft buys Activision? I'm like, I really don't give a shit. If anything, I'm more apt to Bethesda than Activision. I'm more of a fan of Bethesda. I'll take Elder Scrolls and Fallout over any Activision game at this point. There was a time where Call of Duty was my shit. But the last Call of Duty game I actually bought was 2018. I think it was Black Ops 4. And I haven't touched the game since or like actually bought it. So, but Fallout, I'm day one, like an actual Fallout 5, the next Elder Scrolls, I'm all about that. But
they really got to show a lot, man. They haven't showed the combat really. Like, there's no VAT system. Dude, I love the VAT system.
The VAT system's awesome.
I
don't see it in Starfield, though.
Right?
I didn't see it in Starfield. I love the VAT.
Maybe they'll change it.
Awesome.
Yeah, but
you're right.
Yeah, but I think, but I think with Spider-Man 2, that's the type of game that sells itself. Like you don't need to do much.
Beating that.
You don't even have to.
beat God of War.
You don't have to explain it. You just show some gameplay, paint the train. It just sells itself.
Spider-Man came out in September, right? It was a September release.
Yeah, it sells itself. Spider-Man. Yeah, Spider-Man sells itself.
Dude, Spider-Man 2 is going to be insane.
Do much.
Oh my God.
They already built like a good rapport with 2018 and Miles Morales. So yeah, that game is gonna
the game sells itself. You saw Miles Morales was selling month after month for like a good solid 2 years.
That's beating God of War.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think it's still doing well.
Like yeah.
As I said, that's Sony's big.
Miles Morales was like number 9 on the MPDs or something like that.
It trended for years. Like it was like the game you buy with your PlayStation. Like it was still selling.
It was crazy.
Whenever the PlayStation console increased in sales, like when their stock came in, Miles Morales shot up on the MPDs. Like it was like associated with it. The attach rate was
and now you got Venom and Kraven in the story. Like yo. It's gonna be crazy.
And maybe, wait a minute, I got a scoop. Maybe Silk is in this game. Maybe.
Man, you're just horny, man. Stop playing.
No, I'm not. I mean,
maybe. he wishing.
Silk may make it into the game.
But I'm telling you, Venom alone, they put Venom on the cover. It's a wrap, bro. It's like, it's gonna be huge. Shout out to Brian.
Or they get those Venom. They get those Venom plates where your PlayStation 5 you can put on.
That's what they do. They need to have custom plates for that Spider-Man, dude.
I'm a beef for Barry. Yo, Barry, let me do this super chat because that's a good question. But shout out to Brian East. Says, I found something interesting yesterday. Yuri Lowenthal said that he was astonished by the progress of Spider-Man 2. And in parentheses, Google astonishing Spider-Man. All right? And E. Kim... Yo, just played the first few hours in Forspoken, and this game is awesome so far. Cool combat. Beautiful graphics. I don't get how you can call this game mid. I'm very happy with this game so far. That's what I'm talking about. You enjoyed that game. Now, I will say this. With Forspoken, this is really, what drew me into Forspoken still, and what's keeping my interest is the combat. Because at the end of the day, I love games with good combat. Like, that's why I like games like Nier. I could play almost any game that has great combat and everything else is subpar. Because I just love a game with great combat, an action game, stuff like that. So, Jay Barry, as far as the combat goes, how good is it? How is it? Can you give us some details without spoiling too much? Because if the combat is great, then I could ignore everything else about a game, But a game that's designed around combat, like, for example, I'm the opposite, like Rise, right? Rise is great, has a great background, all this stuff, but I did not like the combat at all. It was too easy, boring, so I didn't like the game. To me,
Rise Son of Rome.
Yeah, Rise Son of Rome. Yeah, so a game.
That's the game that created civilization, though, right? That actually created human beings.
It created 52 scenes.
That was the inspiration for God of War. I heard.
Yeah, it was the inspiration, right? So a game, like a game grounded in great combat, I will always cap for. So let me know, Jay Barry, how's the combat in this game?
Yeah, I love the combat in this game because it offers like a lot of depth to the game where you're constantly just learning new stuff and you can constantly upgrade to, to better your magical spells and stuff like that. When you start out, you're pretty much playing it like a kind of like a third person shooter with like parkour abilities and all that stuff. You're going to get other abilities where you got melee attacks and things like that. And then you're going to start mixing and matching where you're combining the spells and creating new different spells. And it gets a little bit crazy. But yeah, I enjoy the combat a lot because of the movement, the fluidity of the game is just amazing. Where you can dodge a lot of enemy attacks while you're attacking, switch over to another magical, element attack. See what their weaknesses are because you can also scan with the cuff and all that stuff to see, like, give her like a better description of like what the enemy is and the type and stuff that they're doing. Kind of like a Libra, an RPG. When you press the up button on the scan, it gives you like a description of what these enemies are weak to and, a little description of them. But yeah, I think overall, it's not something that you're just going to pick up and play like, oh, I'm good at the combat. It's something that you're going to have to learn and dive into it. But I think you're going to like it a lot. Combat-wise.
Thing that you can do combat-wise, if you're learning it, you can actually go into your settings and turn the, when you go to cast, you can, instead of the screen moving and you're trying to cast at the same time, you can stop the whole screen. That will help you learn how to cast those spells and the timing that because when you time it all out and you get the exact combination you want, you get an extremely fluid fight. But if you're trying to learn, she's gonna get knocked down a lot and stuff like that. But there's just a whole lot of there in the options that you do have to go through. And I do like how it tells you if you want to, you don't like the banter with the arm sleeve thing, you can turn that pretty much off, or way down. So far, I haven't done that because to me it sounds like Jarvis and Tony Stark are what that would sound like, that kind of banter. So this sounds like an AI. That's what that thing is acting like. So. And,
a lot of people are just nitpicking and cherry picking like certain dialogue options without giving you like, if you were to capture 15 seconds before and 15 seconds after dialogue that you cherry pick to say, oh, look at the dialogue, it sucks. It will make perfect sense because they give you context of what's going on. Like, I don't understand why people is doing that, yo. Like,
I'll say the dialogue doesn't bother me. Like, I've seen a lot worse games with bad dialogue. Like, I think some people are kind of like thrown off with the fact that you got, like, they're trying to portray a city, New York City, vibe and conversation, get thrown in the middle of a fantasy world, and some people seem that off. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you expect? Like, if I get thrown in the Lord of the Rings, I'm not gonna all of a sudden start talking like them. I'm gonna be like, yo, what the F is going on, bro? I'm like, yo, are you dead ass right now? Like, what are we talking about here?
That's part of the context
to Mount Doom? What?
And also, too, I do think that it's like a little bit of that Final Fantasy kind of corny stuff like that they have in kind of those games where it's like, come on, bring it on. Where they like get the pose and like bring it on. Like she's kind of doing some of those things, and I think it is a little like jarring. It's like hearing somebody from like New York or whatever they're doing, like kind of have those kind of like over enthusiastic type of things. So I could see
she's enjoying her powers that she's getting, right? It's no different than like Duelsense from Infamous when he started getting his powers. Like, he was like, yo, this is
he's like saying
fun.
things,
But she's just doing it in this
point.
fantasy world that she's in. And the thing is, people not understanding the context there because it's no different than you watching Black Knight with Martin. You know what I mean? He got dropped into this world and they're speaking, all this medieval, uppity type of stuff, and he's like, "Yo, come on, man!" It's gonna be awkward because it's doing that on purpose. Like there's conversations where she would like,
but it's two cultures clashing.
I'm gonna.
Dude, I'll never forget like, that movie. You said about the
like,
night.
Do you have
like,
a place to crash? Right,
dude, what was that Heath Ledger movie? With that, it was that night, something night, and they were playing like "We Will Rock You," and he was like jousting somebody, and it was like, "What the hell? We would rock you!" Yeah. And he's like in this. Oh man, I forget that Heath Ledger movie.
Oh, Heath Ledger. Last night,
and it was like playing
that was
something like that,
night.
and they're like
first
modern music in it.
First night.
There was like that old modern music in it, and I was like, "This is kind of weird." Like it was just jarring.
I mean,
it's like the Lion.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, but they're doing that on purpose within the game because she's from New York. She's saying certain slang and all that stuff where she's like, "Yo, I need somewhere to crash," and the people in the world's like, "What? What are you talking about?" Like. And people, these reviewers or people on Twitter, like, look at the dialogue; it's terrible. Why is she saying crash? Like that's how she speaks.
Like she's not going to automatically. She's not going to automatically adopt the medieval.
She's like, "You're from Hell's Kitchen." Well, you're a demon. You're from hell. And you're right. The dialogue in Final Fantasy VII is horrible. I mean, it sounds like a bunch of 13 and 14-year-olds.
Yeah, but that's
horrible dialogue. But it's
Craig, don't do it today. Don't do it today.
Well, I'm just saying.
It's definitely some cringe stuff, dude. Yeah.
Oh, there's definitely cringe. There's definitely
cringe. Baron walking around like,
oh my God, I couldn't stand him.
Two of you, I could take you on. Like,
if you are cringing over Barrett in remake, there's no way you played the original game and not cringe.
I didn't.
No, I didn't. Remember, I never played the original Final Fantasy VII. So the first, I played that remake. We're just talking about the dialogue. Yeah, we're just talking about the dialogue.
Listen, I'm gonna say this.
When I say that, y'all skip that conversation. Skip it now.
I'm just saying.
They're getting wild in the chat. They don't like that.
Listen, I'm just saying. Square Enix. Let's just say Square Enix isn't the best example of dialogue. Can we all agree with that?
Yeah,
I would not put them in the dialogue, the
gameplay. Square has always been known for their fluid game. They always have been. So the dialogue.
Capcom got 21s too. Capcom
got some. Yeah,
Ada. Dude. Oh my God.
Yeah, Devil May Cry. Ada, wait. How many times do we hear that in Resident Evil? She goes running off. Ada, wait.
All I'm saying is that a girl from New York. If a troubled background got transported into a world that's a fantasy world, I don't know how people not see like, okay, this is like what they're going for when it comes to some of the dialogue choices. Like
I agree.
I get it. I don't understand how it's,
I'm enjoying it.
You work me into Lord of the Rings when they're trying to decide who's gonna go to Mount Doom. I'd be like, this motherfucker's crazy. Like, fuck it.
Exactly. Doom.
Get the fuck out of here. They would look at me like who's going to Mount Doom? I'll be like, this motherfucker. I'll be like, fuck you, bro.
Yeah, what did Ant-Man saying the Avengers when they said you got to go to the center of the galaxy and get that ring? He's like, not it. I ain't going.
And I would be speaking Spanish. I'd be like, "Ha, ni loco, chacho, vete para carajo, bro." They'll be like, "What language you speaking?" I'm like, "Get your ass out of here."
Frey got an attitude. She got an attitude as well. Like
she does. She's not afraid, and that's the thing. Yeah, she's like.
Her attitude is explained in the beginning of the game, but for some strange reason, it's being left out as far as when people are talking about these type of things like dialogue and conversation. It's the weirdest thing in the world.
It's craziness.
Well, they were all angry because they didn't get review codes anyway, so that took off a couple of points. Right?
Well, Jay Barry, the word I think you used was context, and I think that's
craziness.
The word that's the proper word is that they don't have it. And I truly believe the people who scored the game, they didn't try to listen to anything that's going on. They just went right into the action, doing a bunch of stuff, and maybe they liked it, maybe they didn't.
Did they even finish the game? Who knows? We ever heard about reviewers.
I know
what they
some
do.
people saying that they beat this game in like 16 hours, so they definitely were skipping a lot of stuff during the game.
Oh, okay. They weren't exploring it.
Or maybe they just played the demo and wrote a review because they didn't get a review code.
That's a good point.
You never know, man, with these bullshit reviewers.
Yeah, good point.
Shout out to
They don't play games anyway.
Shout out to
Ask Adam and Cecil if they play games.
Yeah, well, shout out to he's not a gamer. Shout out to Kim. Also,
exactly.
Yeah, also Forspoken.
That's why play it yourself.
Also, Forspoken is trying something new, a crazy take on Alice in Wonderland. High in Life was 100% cringe dialogue, but there was no problem with that.
You're not getting a sequel to that game, I'll tell you that.
Oh, what's up? The guy, like, domestic violence, beating kids up?
Dude,
like,
he's done. They kicked him out of the studio, so...
Yo.
They get some bootleg voices now if they do a sequel. Game Pass luck.
Oh, okay.
Yo, but that's a good point that Ekin brought up because that's one of the first books that you saw in the beginning of the game, Alice in Wonderland. You know what I mean? So they're letting the gamer know, like, hey, we're doing a comparison here. Like, this is what we're aiming for.
And she wishes to be away in another world. Like, it's... Yeah, it was pretty. I thought the beginning, like, it was definitely pretty, like, serious and dramatic, and and just like about her trying to get out of just what she's in. Like, it was not bad. I think I thought it wasn't bad. Like, I just think they're pulling out certain parts where she gets a power and she's coming off as very kind of just like sarcastic or just being very like just not afraid and stuff. And people are like, I would be afraid if I saw a dragon, instead of saying, "Come on, bring it on." Like, what is what it is, man.
If you had those magical abilities, you'd be cocky as well. Like, yo, I just
I don't think the dialogue is gonna change if you get it for $30 or $20. So, like, stop. Like, it's better now. I got it for 20, so the dialogue I could handle it now. Like,
you know what? You know what's missing in the conversation when people talk about this game? For some strange reason, when a game is tied to PlayStation, the fun factor talk, it's dismissed. Nobody talk about the fun factor. Is the game actually fun?
Oh,
no.
Fun to play?
That's the $70, Jay. It's the $70.
They go to it's $70. Oh, the graphics, the dialogue, this and that.
Yep.
You know, which I'm with that as well. But if you want to fully talk about a game, fully talk about a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. All I heard about was all Pentiment, and when God of War was out. Like, Pentiment's a fun game. It's good. How's the voice acting in Pentiment, everybody? To have something to say about this.
Oh, wow.
There was no voice acting, by the way.
Let me move on to the next topic. So, Microsoft is trying to get Sony's trade secrets, right? like they realize, you know what? Whatever we doing suck ass. Let's force the courts to reveal their secrets, right? Now I'm here bullshit. Yeah. But this is what's going on. It says Sony Interactive Entertainment is trying to limit its involvement in Microsoft's current battle with the Federal Trade Commission over its Activision Blizzard deal. Legal documents show Microsoft recently subpoenaed its competitor in the hopes of building a defense against the FTC, which filed a lawsuit against the Xbox maker in December 2022. Sony was originally meant to respond or kill the subpoena by January 20th, but has now been granted extension up to January 27th, which is this Friday. Reportedly, Microsoft has asked for information on the scope of Sony's game production. In the past, Sony has said losing revenue from Activision Blizzard would be felt in future console generations like the PlayStation 6, and it wasn't in a position to make a substantial first-party competitor. With how much time Sony has spent arguing with Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard would hurt PlayStation specifically, Microsoft wants to learn how much the acquisition would truly hurt PlayStation's business. Naturally, Sony would like to limit as much information as possible. As a result of the extension, Sony and Microsoft can now continue to negotiate and thereby eliminate or narrow any issues that need to be presented to the court for resolution. According to the agreed motion, Microsoft has until April 7th to gather the relevant information. Sony said its extension request won't delay the proceedings. So it seems like Microsoft is trying. Obviously, they're trying to build their case, right? And they're trying to have Sony unveil. Yo, how crazy would this be that because of a subpoena, that's how we find out everything that Sony has up and coming?
That's gonna be the showcase.
Man, that's our showcase. Like, goddamn, we're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to go to what is it? What is it? What's that fucking?
We're gonna watch Court TV.
Yeah, we're gonna have to watch Court TV.
The release list
and shit. Right? We're gonna have to watch.
Ultimately, it's a smart strategy legally because they do have the right. Like, they have to show that Sony has made the argument that them doing this would hurt them financially. So Microsoft is saying, well, then you're going to have to show us, because they're trying to defend themselves, and they have a right to the most vigorous defense that they can present, that you're going to have to show how this is going to hurt you, and they can, at the same time, get out, because they're already pissed they're not getting Silent Hill and Final Fantasy, which did shock me. I said that a couple of weeks ago. Like, I was floored. I thought Silent Hill was only going to be exclusive for a year, but Microsoft came out and told the whole world we ain't getting it. So, and that also includes possibly Metal Gear. So, if that is true, yes, it would be kind of funny if they were able to say, here are games that we would like to put on our service, but Sony's blocking it. Because I know they blocked Resident Evil 8 and they blocked Resident Evil 4. So it is interesting. But again, it's an interesting strategy legally because Sony has said this is going to hurt us, and Microsoft is now saying, well, we don't think it is, and now you have to go tell the FTC or show them how this is going to hurt you. So now whether it gets into open document, whether it's privilege and they go behind the scenes, we'll have to wait and see, I guess. But I think it's hilarious. It also shows how desperate they are. Like, this is a last desperate heave. Like the Protheans did against the Reapers. All is lost. If they don't get this, if Sony blocks this, I don't see this deal going through. But we'll just have to wait and see. Like they said, we got to watch.
Yeah, but Sony's not the one. Sony's not the one that's has to find the date information. They're the ones that got to do the deep dive. And apparently, they wrote the subpoena, but then they didn't add something to it, so they had to send it back. But they still want it by January 20th. With their Game Pass lawyers. Shout out to J-Dub. He said that their lawyers were purchased with Game Pass. And I said they came with a box of Oreos.
Got these subscription-based lawyers.
So they brought an inadequate subpoena. They brought an inadequate.
Phil got him for $1. He says, I got you for 6 months. They came with a box of Oreos.
The issue was going on here. The reason why PlayStation don't want this deal to go through is the fact that they don't want to deal with Microsoft. I mean,
I agree.
When an acquisition like this goes through, you're going to have to communicate with your major competitor when it comes to games like Call of Duty or Crash and things like that. They don't want to do with that. They don't want Microsoft in their books. They don't want Microsoft in their business. No different than why Microsoft is trying to get into their business to see what PlayStation is doing, and speeding up this acquisition, giving a subpoena out there like that. But PlayStation,
yeah, Sony responded to them though. Sony did respond to this.
Well, they have to.
Sony,
legal.
They did. They just did right now. They said, "We will show you these nuts."
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay, there you go.
You can count these nuts. That's what you can tell.
PlayStation, Sony, they don't want to deal with business with Microsoft like that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day,
and I don't think it's even across the because they never mentioned anything about Crash or Overwatch or Diablo. I think if it wasn't for Call of Duty, Sony, if it wasn't for Call of Duty, Sony probably wouldn't have cared if they acquired Activision. I think it's only because of Call of Duty that Sony's like, whoa, because usually Sony didn't make a stink about Bethesda. They didn't say shit. They're like, whatever.
Yeah, but did you see what they did with the Bethesda? They did the same finesse type stuff where they're like, well, it's not going to be beneficial for us to take games off of where they already are. And Bethesda games don't really sell that much. And it really wouldn't affect the market. That's all the shit they're doing now.
But I think, but what I'm saying from Sony's perspective, they didn't care, though. They're like...
They didn't care.
I think it's strictly because of Call of Duty. I don't think Sony cares about Crash Bandicoot.
They downplayed the hell out of the
You know why they did care about the Bethesda? Because at the end of the day, the conversations then were in-house. The only reason why we're seeing so much back-talking and loud stuff is because Phil Spencer and Microsoft took it public. That's why when Jim Ryan responded, he's like, yo, these conversations was behind the closed door. That's why they're bringing up the Bethesda deal now. They weren't happy with that as well. They weren't happy with that because they flipped the script. That's why that's part of the argument.
No, but what I'm saying, they never tried to challenge the Bethesda argument, though. Sony didn't say, they never even tried to tell the FTC, we don't agree. That's what I think. I think it's because of Call of Duty. I don't think it's because of any other game.
Call of Duty is a major
I think if it
all that microtransaction stuff that they make.
That's all it is. Stuff. It's just Call of Duty.
That's the same reason why Google is pissed off, because Google has Call of Duty Mobile and Candy Crush, and Microsoft's like, well, we're going to take those and put it on our own mobile store. And Google's like, oh, hell no, you're not doing it. We got a problem with this as well. That's why Google.
You also got the reason why I think they also said something about Bethesda, but we just didn't have public information is because look how much deals they were doing with Bethesda. F-Loop, Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying.
What you call Elder Scrolls Online.
That's what I'm saying. And then Microsoft say, hey, we're gonna buy Bethesda, and Sony didn't try to challenge it. Whatever. It wasn't until this Call of Duty where Sony be like, whoa. Whoa.
Enough is enough.
No. You know what I'm saying? I ultimately think
like enough.
I ultimately think the like kind of like what you said, Barry. They don't want to deal with Microsoft in terms of negotiating revenue with Call of Duty, because Sony gets a 30% cut, right? Call of Duty under Microsoft has the leverage to say, hey, we promised that we'll keep Call of Duty, but you have to agree to a 15% only revenue. Take it or leave it. And if you say no, then we could go back and tell people it's you guys that are saying no to Call of Duty on your platform, not us. We're fine with having it. But it's not going to be us only taking 70%. We want 85% of the cut. And I thinking that could actually happen. And Sony probably doesn't want that. Sony wants their 30% cut, no matter what. When you think about that, because that's leverage Microsoft has if they were to own it. And I think that's really what it comes down to it. Sony doesn't want to see all that money get reduced to just 15% or 10%. Because they're fucked. I mean, to be honest, they will have no leverage at all. Microsoft owns Call of Duty. They can only take what Microsoft offers. If Microsoft offers, hey, you get 15%, what's Sony going to say? I don't think they're going to say no, because now if the franchise is not on the platform at all, they're going to look like the bad guy. So they're just going to have to sit there and, they're going to have to chew on it. They're going to have to chew their tongue on that, deal. And I don't think Sony wants to be put in that position. And I think
Sony also negotiates with Activision on whatever exclusive modes and things like that, and all that negotiation is off the table because Microsoft doesn't have to negotiate with anybody. All that
crossplay talk is going to be with Mike. They major competitor as well. They don't want
and also the fact that Microsoft could leverage. See, the problem is that when it's not a deal where Activision is making the game and you could deal with them. When Microsoft owns them, they own everything. They're gonna own how the game is created, how the game is distributed, like everything about the game, and they could have any kind of under the table kind of just weird things where they could say we're not going to make it different than your game, but they could have other things, bonuses and Game Pass or anything, and they could leverage that stuff without negotiating at all. Like they could just make that decision, and they could even make that risk, like that loss leader that they are with everything. They could do anything to the game. And Sony, again, like I said, Phil has the game ball, and as soon as Sony starts shooting 3-pointers, Phil's like, the game's over. I'm going home. And he takes Call of Duty and he goes home with it. And Sony's left without anything there. So, I can see why they're saying stuff. Obviously, they're going to say some stuff. But again, Sony's not the one that has the FTC breathing down their neck and everybody having problems with this thing. Microsoft's the one that needs to prove, and they still haven't, as to why this is good for gaming. And you just laid off 10,000 people, and you're going to say you have the responsibility of absorbing another 10,000 people. So, I don't know. Microsoft has yet to prove why this is going to be good for gaming and for us and for all that stuff. They just keep saying it, but they don't have any kind of backing to it at all.
I even don't call that out. It's obvious why they want it, right? There's so much beyond Call of Duty. Why
they want it.
Got King
It's
games,
not better for gaming. It's better for them.
It's not better for gaming. It's better for Xbox. We collect that, but it's not beating for gaming in general. It's not. They're not going to do nothing. Don't tell me, but we can push cloud. Ain't nobody give a damn about cloud. Cut it out, man.
They're talking about AI now.
Ain't nobody giving shit about no goddamn cloud gaming.
Like a storm.
Cut that bullshit out. Ain't nobody trying to hear that bullshit.
Yeah, now it's about AI. It's about replacing people with robots.
Then if they fire half their whole staff. Shout out to Magnum Visuals. He says Jim just has to say the games will do the talking. Facts. And Donnell Brown. How about them New York Giants? Laugh out loud. You can come join us Raiders fans on the couch. Us Cowboy fans. Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills is sitting on that seat. That's a lot of people sitting on that goddamn. We're running out of room on that couch.
Yeah, there's 28. Is there 32 teams? Yeah, there's 28 teams on that couch. So.
Right now, hopefully,
I would not accept that from a Raider fan. No.
Hey, next week,
did the Raiders even make the playoffs?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
No,
you're not going to disrespect Giants like that. You ever made the playoffs, man?
Hey, don't worry. Next week, Kansas City and Philadelphia we gotta make room for them.
Oh,
I'm rooting for Cincinnati 49ers.
Yeah, I don't know. Eagles going to the Super Bowl.
What?
I think the Eagles go. The Bengals. That's going to be a tough game for them.
Well, so far, I know we changed the podcast, but Joe Burrow's beat Kansas City 3 games in a row.
Yes, and it's about time Kansas City wins.
Yeah, but
you're right.
And
Mahomes is hurt. That dude limping.
I know, but he was able to walk.
My man limping like Game Pass out there. I'm like, oh, snap. My man limping, bro.
He's limping like Phil Spencer coming out of the courtroom.
He hurt. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Phaedrus Socrates. If MS wants to take this new angle, Sony should say, okay, from now on, let's count in all our losses from entire ABK and ZeniMax, not just COD.
Well, I mean, it's not the law. I mean, Sony has said in public to multiple regulatory agencies that this deal is going to hurt their bottom line. And the FTC has sued them because they think this is anti-consumerism. So, okay, now Microsoft, under this suit, is trying to defend itself, and it's trying to pull Sony in to say, well, look, let's open up their book, so to speak, and let's see what their projected loss is going to be. Mm-hmm. That is part of their defense. So now whether the judge could just say this is trash, this is corny, get it out of here.
Yeah, this is just that Game Pass law is looking at it.
Yeah, but the judges may say, yeah, you know what? You're claiming it's going to hurt you, so you need to come in and show us how it's going to hurt you.
So yeah, that's legitimate.
It makes it rule like that.
That is legitimate. If Sony's saying these are the huge impacts, and Microsoft's pretty much all right, then show me your cards.
Correct.
Put your cards on the table and prove it. Yeah. And I think that's I see that's a legitimate.
That's a good defense.
It's a good defense. You're gonna have to show your cards. Yeah.
And so Microsoft's being sued. So they're trying to. They have a right under the Constitution for the rigorous defense that they can mount. And if they're saying, well, how can they tell you that it's going to hurt them and they don't show you a number, and then they have to make a determination, then Sony has to come in and Microsoft will argue, well, you all make this much money, so this won't hurt you that bad. So that's just, but it also shows you how desperate they are, because pretty much when they said April, 14th or whatever the date that was, that's a hard stop date. Microsoft has got to show them something, or else the deal won't go through. They will just, that woman, Linda Khan, she's backed by the president of the United States. So, and you're going to lose. You know, the United States is not going to let you win at the end of the day. So, and I saw people saying that they have a poor track record in court. They have stopped 15 out of 19 mergers. So they know what they're doing over there. They got pretty good lawyers. So, but we'll have to wait and see. But it's a good defense. That's all I'm trying to say. It doesn't bother me either way. I don't know what people are going to do if you can't call in the B2 and get one man army and all that kind of stuff on PlayStation. But at the end of the day, as far as watching legal cases, it's fun to watch how they're doing this. It's actually fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean,
it's legal.
At the end of the day, you're just gonna have to play it on PC or get an Xbox.
Yeah, I don't know what the big deal about. If you're that big of a fan of it, put on a headset and call in the one man army and call in the B2 and you do all that stuff and hide behind the gate and I'm going to sit here in this wedge and then they're going to run by and I'm going to shoot a grenade and you can call and get one man army. I don't know how that works, but y'all just going to have to play it on Xbox. That's just the best way. It's like with Spider-Man. They're still bitching about Spider-Man. We're 5 years after. And it's like, if you really want to play the game, you can actually go buy a PlayStation. It's not that difficult to get a PlayStation at this point. So, yeah.
Are they going to call Captain Price to witness in court about this case?
Oh, snap. They better call Sam Fisher to help them out.
Yeah, they call him the B2.
They got to call Jim Ryan. They're going to call Jim Ryan to the stand. And he's going to be like, you got no games.
You got no games. I let the games do the talking. I plead the fifth. My games do.
And Sony kicked their butts in court because Sony used the Bethesda deal and how Microsoft pulled games and they busted them right in court, especially in Europe. They literally had the contracts there and they said, no, we were negotiating with Bethesda for Starfield and we've always had Elder Scrolls on our platform. So for you to come into court and tell them you won't do this when we have proof you have done it, that was the end of them over there. It was like, okay, well, yeah, we did pull these games. Microsoft had to admit that. Yeah, we pulled these to make our product more viable. So they had a tough time over there in Europe. Let's just put it like that. So that's why Post Up quit talking about it, because they were getting their asses handed to them over there by Sony.
I tell you what, Captain Price would say in court. He would say, back in the day, I was the launch title on Xbox 360 with Call of Duty 2. You better get
when people used to buy me. Back in the day, people used to buy my greatness. Now we're doing all this free chicken nugget. Anyway. Hey, so
and even further back, we were on PC exclusively in 2003. That's a Windows platform.
Now
he would break it down like Rambo did in First Blood, talking to Troutman.
He's like, Murdoch, I just wanted to say.
But the thing is, if Sony shows how much money they're losing that they claim to lose, and Microsoft's like, well, see, that's why we'll keep it on there. Then it kind of just if that didn't destroy Sony's deal, like Sony's complaint, then how was this showing their revenue showing their revenue from it, gonna affect it? If them saying we're just keeping it where it is, FTC and stuff, aren't you happy with that? And the commission, nobody was satisfied with that, with the 10-year plan, and Sony didn't want it either.
Yeah, Sony.
Well, I guess maybe Sony didn't want it. Now they're gonna be like,
well, had they offered that in the beginning, Sony would have probably taken it. But Sony did so good in court with those regulators, everything went so well for them.
Why not?
They were like, we don't want. Yeah, they pushed their chips to the center and said, we don't want 10 years. I would have done the same thing.
Yeah. Well, at first it was 3.
Yeah.
Well, first it was
3 at first.
This was trash.
Yeah. And then that's when Phil opened his mouth, and then Jim Ryan was like, enough. Talk. He's like, you made this public, Phil. Enough. Yeah. You told me when we'll roast the marshmallows, this will stay between us. Yeah. And then you go on Twitter.
He did. Jim Chen said this. He thought this was just between businessmen, and I was like, oh shit.
Yep. Jim, Phil that Two-Faced, man.
Jim Judas didn't like that. Jim Judas didn't like that
Judas.
at all.
Jim Judas.
Hey, so on top of all this nonsense, I guess apparently Micro CEO said in our earnings call in particular, and shout out to Benji Cells. So let me see, where's the negative shit right here? Because he's trying to say game streaming hours and record sales.
It was all negative.
Yeah, he's trying to show some positivity. Shout out to Benji Cells. Always trying to find that silver lining in the dark cloud. Shout out to him, man.
There's only one silver lining: is making some good games. Jesus, like that's it.
Well,
there's no more spinning this stuff.
Didn't they say that the one part of their revenue was it was expected to go to 12%, and it got to 12%? So
the Xbox content and services revenue.
Yeah. Now overall, Microsoft their earnings
they made two.
Their overall, they dropped. Yeah. This is after hours. They've dropped this down a point.
They're getting hit, dude. They're getting hit even in PC sales. They're getting hit like that. All the stuff that would cover for them from the gaming division always been kind of down.
It doesn't matter, guys. All right, Microsoft can take the hit. They can take the hit. Yeah, they got billions and trillions of dollars, and they can take the hit.
Microsoft money.
Yeah, but that $1 trillion, I had to tell Crap Gamer. I said, dude, look, you don't understand what that means. That means if they liquidate everything, even the typewriters that they still have in the storage, it's worth trillions of dollars. Yeah, that's not their daily operating, how they operate daily. I can't believe how dumb people are.
I don't know what section is the appliances. Like where do they put the Xbox refrigerator? Did that carry them throughout the holiday? They don't have an appliance section here. I'm looking,
and that was on sale. The Xbox refrigerator.
They remastered it. They remastered it.
They remastered the refrigerator.
Yeah, last year was the old one. They remastered it to a new one this year.
Yeah, Microsoft did beat earnings, but. So that's good, but the cloud growth is slowing. That's why they laid the people off. That was the main reason.
Did it ever take off?
They laid off the whole HoloLens, all the grab assing with the friggin'.
Well, the HoloLens was military. Yeah, you're right. The military canceled HoloLens.
Virtual reality, AR, all that stupid Windows that you could put an Excel chart on the wall. All that's gone. They got rid of all that stuff, and then they went into the developers.
Well, and they messed up with cloud because when we're in a pandemic, you have all these people off. You have the kids home from school, so their homework is in the cloud. They have to go to the computers and get it and bring it out of the cloud. So they missed, and so did Google, and so did Amazon. But ultimately, they should have went into AI, and I thought it was funny because their president's like, yeah, we should have.
That's what he's talking about now.
Yeah, and that's where they should have been. They're behind. They're behind. Oracle is going to kick their butts in AI, but we'll have to wait and see. But they misrepresented. It's hard because we're in a pandemic and everybody's at home and you're working from home and you're using cloud, and so they're like, oh, all these people need more space. Let's expand. And then everybody went outside. Black Wakanda Forever made over 800 million. Top Gun made $1 billion. Avatar made $2 billion. So people are starting to go out more and spend more out, and they're not inside. So yeah, but they still beat their earnings. I'm looking here at the story on US Financial, but their cloud growth did slow. And the fact that they hit their developers, and then their developers are on social media just dragging them was terrible.
We gotta ignore that whole cloud part. We gotta ignore that because we gotta keep it gaming because they're mixing so they can look positive.
They're finessing that trash.
They're trying to finesse.
That's what I would do too.
Look at gaming. Gaming revenue declined 13%. Xbox content and services revenue declined 12% on a strong prior year. Declines in first-party content, which was non-existent, and lower monetization. And then it says partially offset by growth in Game Pass, but they never said what growth or what percentage of growth in Game Pass. So that's a bunch of malarkey. And then hardware revenue declined 13%. That's the head scratcher right there because we saw the MPDs, the full MPDs for last year. They dropped that Series S booster to $200, and that thing couldn't even come in second for unit sales. That's a problem.
Yeah. That is a problem. No, you're right, and that explains the screenshot Porter Rock got up. $20.
Why is hardware declining? Shouldn't it be?
That's where they got to get that thing.
They should be
and
selling.
You're 2 years into a new generation of hardware, 2 consoles, a $500 beast that eats monsters for breakfast and bitches for brunch, and then you got a booster box that supposedly everybody went on the internet, the check marks, and said this is the best deal in gaming. Buy it for your kids, buy it for your grandma. Everybody buy it it's a good stocking stuffer. The booster box. So you got that marketing going on. Then you got the teraflop thing. 2 consoles, 13% drop in 2 years of a new generation console.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Definitely a red flag. I agree.
Shout out to Mac. Shout out to
ain't got no games. Man.
Shout out to Mac.
Why is somebody going to buy an Xbox regardless of how cheap it is?
Yeah.
Apparently, they got Phil Spencer, dude. People buy it for him.
Testing.
Sign your ass every purchase.
Oh shit!
But everything.
That's why it's not about Phil. It's not about Xbox. It's not games that you want to buy because that's the other problem. They do not show crap. Look at the stuff they're showing tomorrow. Is there a line out the door to see DLC for Elder Scrolls Online? You got 20 goddamn games that you haven't shown shit to ass on. And you're going to talk about Elder Scrolls DLC. Nonetheless, they're going to have a whole blowout show after that developer diary lunch. Save it for that shit. Why are you wasting 43 minutes of your time talking about DLC? Yeah. You got so many games we need to see. And then we hear about all the games that you're working on. Rebooted. They got bootleg studios working with them. Eidos and Crystal Dynamics. Goddamn Joanna Darks are gonna have a mustache and mutton chops.
Now supposedly
they make bootleg Avengers.
Now supposedly the rumor. Working on Joanna Darks. Supposedly rumor they're not gonna as after they're done with Tomb Raider. I guess they're working on a new Tomb Raider. That's when.
Yeah, well, Embracer Group. This is what happens when you got bootleg studios working with your first party. Crystal Dynamics got purchased by Embracer Group. Amazon said, let's fund Tomb Raider. And Embracer Group said, yeah, we bought you for Tomb Raider. Bitch, you're making Tomb Raider.
That's their priority.
Joanna Dark on the back burner.
Yeah, that's their priority. They gotta do
and tell those 30 dudes over the initiative to go get lunch because we're not going to make their game first.
Magnum Visual, shout out. Magnum Visual. If Sony shows their lineup and the ABK deal fails, MS has to pay Sony for damages?
No, there's no damage. Sony, no, they got Microsoft has to pay.
I mean, people don't understand. Microsoft is being sued by the United States of America, so they get to put out a rigorous defense, and they're literally saying again, Sony's saying this is going to hurt them, so you're going to have to. We're suing you to show the FTC how much this is going to hurt you. So that's where we're at right now with it, and Sony has till Friday to come up with, whether they're going to fight it or they may show some of it. Doesn't mean it'll be in open court. They may go into chambers, so to speak, and have it all laid out for them. We'll have to just wait and see. So it's a mess. But like I said, it's a mess.
So now looking at Xbox strategy, we're already in 2023, right? And I'm assuming quarter 2 for Microsoft is the October, November, December numbers, right? The holiday numbers. And gaming,
somebody tried to tell me otherwise.
Yeah,
I was like,
because everybody
go back to school.
So gaming revenue's down 13%. Xbox content and services, which includes Game Pass, is down 12%, and their hardware revenue
and Xbox Live.
Yeah, and Xbox Live and hardware revenue
and digital sales.
Yeah, every number's down. Every number's down, right? Now, some people say, which I agree, not having games is a huge impact on this one. And, like, gee, you think? Like, shocking. Simply saying a random library of games for $15 a month is not very a good sales pitch, huh? Right? There was Zuby Tech revealed the numbers, because he's a subscriber to NPD. He revealed over the last couple of months the actual numbers of consoles, and in the month of November, Microsoft only sold 730,000 Xbox consoles in the biggest shopping month of the year, not even 1 million, while PlayStation 5 sold a little over 1.3 million. Like I think it's safe to say that the tried and true methodology of selling consoles will always be games. It's not features. Sure, they're nice. Features are nice. Not services. Sure, services are nice. But at its core, I don't think the mantra of all about the games will ever change, because it's literally how we describe each other. We're gamers. We're not subscribers. We don't call ourselves, hey, are you a subscriber or a featurer?
You a consoler?
Or a counselor? No, I am a gamer.
Xbox groupie?
Yeah, well, there's guys who actually do call themselves.
You're a game passer.
You're a game passer?
Game passer.
No, everything is tied to the game. Game is at the heart of the whole entire hobby. And if you don't have the games,
2013 video about this is how you share your games.
Yeah. If you don't,
did y'all see the response to somebody asked Matt Piscatella, the NPD guy?
Yeah.
Why don't we see Xbox games charting? Are you charting? Are you allocating digital sales? So Matt Piscatella's like, yeah, we are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He
said, so I guess
it's not there.
He said, oh, I guess there's going to be a change coming up. He said, well, the digital sales is not enough to even make a chart on Xbox. That's what he said.
They're not selling, man.
I gotta pull up the back and forth. That show's crazy.
I did learn certain, right? Because he did mention, like, one time, maybe 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. It was a while ago, right? It was before the PS5, so it is over 2 years ago. He did mention, like, the top 20, 30 best-selling games on PlayStation overall, something for the year or something, right? And like, and normally, obviously, Madden, Grand Theft Auto, like I think it was like the top 20 best-selling games of all time on PlayStation, right? And of course, Madden, like multiple Maddens, multiple Grand Theft Autos. Some games like all these games take up slots, right? So I asked them, hey, why don't you do like a top 100? Because obviously, multiple Maddens are going to take up the slots, multiple NBA is going to take up the slot, multiple FIFAs. So at that point, it's like, we want to see the other games. Yeah, we know FIFA sells a lot. We know 2K sells a lot. We know that. We want to see the other slots. He said, like, the difference in sales is so slim, it's not even worth it. Like, if you see this game sold 50 and then this game charted at 51, he said, like, the difference is pennies. He's like, it's not even worth doing it. Like don't let the standing fool you. Some of this stuff is like literally just down to just hundreds of dollars in between. What this game probably sold $300 more worth over this game in total. He says it's not even worth it. Like once you go past 2030, it's an irrelevant metric. You'd be surprised how close. I was like, oh, I didn't even realize that. Like I didn't know for like, all right, I guess, and stuff like that. The only thing was because some games take up so many slots, is like you're not really getting a true picture, or at least I thought, you're not getting a true picture of the games outside those super popular games that always sell year to year, because that fan base is going to buy the same game every year. So they're always there over and over and over and over, right?
The other thing, too, is like, you say these numbers or these charts, it's for like Twitter and from Piscatella and stuff, but developers are looking at these things. Like they are seeing like games, if they're games that drop, where they're charting, where they're selling, where they're going. And if you even look at what Xbox has done, even last year with Game Pass, they really didn't bring in the third-party games to kind of etch out Game Pass and make it look like we got day one third party. And I always say, like, more developers came out saying we're not on Game Pass than saying we're happy to be in Game Pass. That's a problem. Yeah. And now the only way they've coached people, because the worst feeling in the world is to buy a game for whatever the hell price and then to see it dropping in a subscription in Game Pass. So Microsoft has coached whoever's left on Xbox to just not run out and buy something day one if it's not on Game Pass. And hell, they went after the AEW developers going like, it's not on Game Pass. Your game is going to fail. You need this more people to play games. Boo. Like, they went after them because it's not day one. It's this really hive mind that Microsoft created. And the only way they're going to get more money to try to maybe pay more money to get bigger games on Game Pass off their own is by increasing the price of Game Pass. That's because I think they actually lose a lot of negotiating factors because of this Game Pass thing where they can't get those timed exclusives. They can't get a third-party game, even like a Forspoken or even like a third-party game, that they're trying to grasp. They get these indie ones because that kind of level of game, they got to pay so much to put it in Game Pass, and they probably don't want to do it. And I think they're losing out a lot of that kind of that middle of the road because they really don't have a lot of second-party deals, even with Bethesda. Sony had the Deathloop and friggin' Ghostwire Tokyo. Like, where's Microsoft's second-party negotiations, timed exclusives? They got a bunch of indies like Scorn and all that other stuff. It's like that's what you're able to bring to the table. People want the AAA games.
Spend money in gaming. They don't want to spend that.
They don't want to spend money in gaming. They'd rather buy 30,000 controllers.
Yeah, I don't think it's so much they don't want to spend money in gaming. I think they kind of handicap themselves without realizing it because it's all about Game Pass. So whatever move they make, it's got to be related to Game Pass. If they were a little bit flexible, I think like they go to a big, third-party game, and they'd be like, hey, we like your game, we want an Xbox, put it on Game Pass. And the developer's like, no, we're not doing Game Pass. If Microsoft still said, all right, fine, ignore Game Pass, but can you still make it exclusive to Xbox, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
I think if they don't absolutely hold the hard line of, if you're not dealing with Game Pass, then you're not dealing with us. I think if they were a little bit more open, but I think any decision and any game they want on Xbox has to be on Game Pass because that's what they're trying to push. I think they should be more flexible.
But the fan base is going to push that too because now that game, let's say that game gets by, they got a third party game that's going to be exclusive. The fan base, will they buy it? Because now they're thinking, they got to be in Game Pass.
Let me shout out to Staples. Staples is here. He's been quiet. Hey, yo, Staples, you still there?
I'm watching the Nick game.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Oh, shit, man. That's like hyping Xbox, bro. What are you doing here, bro? What are we doing here? Now I'm playing. Man, the Knicks, listen, I always said the Knicks are the Xbox of the NBA. Like, we terrible. We terrible.
All the money, no talent.
We terrible, bro. We terrible, man. We hurting, bro. This organization, god damn. It feels like Phil Spencer, the general manager. Like, god damn, we hurting.
Do you disagree, Staples?
He better not disagree. He know I'm preaching truth.
Do you disagree? I know you speaking facts, but I want to hear
the Knicks are a lot worse off than the Xbox. I don't agree.
Why? We need Knicks ticket subscription. We need Knicks pass.
I don't like that. They free hot dog night. Get people in.
We need Knicks. But let me ask you this: would you find it weird? Would you find it weird if Microsoft marketed a big AAA, like they marketed Xbox, they either time exclusive or even exclusive to Xbox and PC, obviously, right? But it's not on Game Pass. Would you find that weird? Would you be like,
I love to see that.
What would you be your initial impression? How would you feel about that? Would you be like, wait, what?
That goes against everything that they've been doing for like the past 4 years.
So I'm talking about third party. Because remember, Microsoft only promised they won first party. But let's say they get a third party game, a decent sized game, but it's not on Game Pass, but it's marketed by Xbox, and you found keep it away from Sony.
That's so weird.
It was still weird. You would be like, whoa, hold on. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
because everything they do revolves around Game Pass.
You see what I mean? They put themselves in a crutch. Yeah,
because they promised the world to them before they even had the games being made. They went balls deep too early. That's the problem with them. They went all in on this Game Pass thing and said it's this or bust. And the problem is that, first of all, they didn't even have the games when they made that promise, and then now they're making the games to uphold that promise. And they needed to make Game Pass live alongside a traditional type model so that a game may not be in Game Pass. It may be there, but there's some games that may not be there. And maybe with this update tier, maybe the $20 one is going to have those big games in there, and the middle one's going to have the indie games. I don't know. But see, the way Sony had their subscription service live alongside their traditional model, and if they make a game for the service, put it in the service. If they have a game that they said, hey, Scorn, get in there, you're day one in that service, fine. DKO, get in there, you're part of our PlayStation Plus. But therefore, they're not compromising their whole entire first-party studios and going, hey, everything you're going to make, everything you're going to do is going to be in this $10, $15 subscription service. And you see the development of these games, the management, the scoping of their games. It has to be to cut out this content, make it constraint, make it this. All that stuff is because they are trying to do more with less. That's Satya's term, is that they're trying to make smaller games for the success of Game Pass, because these big blockbuster games, they can't make tons of those and make a huge lineup. Maybe they'll make one every year or two and put that in there as a goodwill gesture. But they cannot be having those kind of games drop, after one another. They can't do it. And we're seeing it. It's because everything has to be built for this model, because they made this promise, which they shouldn't have, but it was a swing for the fences.
Yeah. I mean,
and now they're buying publishers now to fill it up.
I mean, it's a challenge, right? As the time goes on, hold on, real quick, play. As time goes on, right? It's a challenge, especially at this point. It's going to be a challenge for Microsoft to try to convince third party in general, don't put this game on PlayStation, because they see the data, they'll see the console sales. Sony already has 30 million. Third party has a general idea of how Xbox is doing. So it's already, in terms of these next generation consoles, Sony probably already has the dominant market share. So right off the bat, going to the table, telling a third party developer just to convince them not to put it on PlayStation is probably a challenge. Not impossible, but probably a challenge. But then to add, it's got to be day one on Game Pass? That's like, like you already added another layer of crutch, right? Where chances are the only people that will probably co-sign those things is going to be like the indie guys or the newly developed studios or somebody Microsoft is going to take a chance on. But the more established studios, the more established games, they'll probably be like, hey, bad enough, you guys are getting your ass kicked by PS5. Now you want us to put us on Game Pass and we only get a projected 20%? Whoa. No,
this is why that Game Pass going up, because they gotta put out so much money to get these games into Game Pass, because typically
was it like a cooking game, like $600,000 or some weird shit?
Yeah, the Power Wash Simulator.
Remember how much it was like over $500,000. Like
mad bread.
And it was like for
to get that game in there.
Like cooking simulator.
That's what's happening with all these other third party games, and that's why it's highly possible that we're going to see this price increase or whatever we're seeing on the screen right here, because it's going to help them to afford to get these third party games in there. Because of those case scenarios.
All right, Project, you're next. But first, Ekim, thank you for the super chat. He says, Horizon Zero Dawn 2017, Hellblade 2017. Where is Hellblade 2? I've been asking for that question too. Like, it's ridiculous,
man.
Like, I mean, shit.
They went quiet too.
I mean, but I'm hoping they're cooking some shit in the kitchen. I have faith in Ninja Theory. Hopefully them falling under Microsoft, they're not in the damn. We really regret this decision. I hope not.
If I see another cosplay tweet about Senua, bro, I'm about to call Havoc over there, man.
Yeah, man. I hope Ninja Theory's okay, man. If I see somebody or like the heads of Ninja Theory leave, that's when I'm gonna be like, yo, this shit is bad. But hopefully, man, they'll get shit going. Now, Project, what you were gonna chime in with?
Yeah. So, I mean, I totally understand where we're coming from on, Game Pass is in some way, somehow, it's hindering the traditional gaming experiences. Like certainly, like it just feels like you don't get a Rise or a Titanfall. We can have different opinions on those games and whatever, but I would say especially before those games released and they were being marketed at E3 and everything, there was a lot of excitement around those titles, and I think Rise was, at least maybe before it launched, a very strong title to be like, hey, this is the next generation, and Titanfall was a great closer, I think, at one point at one of their E3s. But I will say this though, like, despite the fact that I do feel like compared to Sony's upcoming lineup, which again there's still a lot of question marks as to official announcements of things, but even with the limited it just kind of being Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine at this point, or the mega titles from Sony, and if I do compare that to the list that Xbox has revealed that's upcoming, I'm far more looking more forward to Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine than anything Microsoft has coming. But they definitely have announced AAA titles, and these are all going to be Game Pass games. And we'll see what the quality is, but nevertheless, the production values, the budget, it's all AAA. So, and I really would say that Microsoft's goal is a AAA game on Game Pass, just like every quarter. I think that's there's inside reports about that, and it also sort of makes sense with what they've announced. Like you've got Avowed, Starfield, Fable, Forza Motorsport,
Stalker,
Hellblade 2, Elder Scrolls 6, Ark 2, Stalker 2, Redfall, State of Decay 3, The Outer Worlds 2, Perfect Dark, Everwild. So, I mean, again, it feels like a lot of these titles are going to be maybe even a few years away from now, but I mean, in time, those are all going to be Game Pass, hitters, at least in terms of the marketing is going to be, significant. We anticipate for these because they're AAA budget. So, even though I don't really see the business sense in kind of doing the Game Pass deal, especially when I don't think you're going to get anywhere near as many subscribers for Game Pass compared to like a streaming service. But nevertheless, they're going for it. So I'm glad they're doing it. As far as like, hey, if Game Pass is the way in for Microsoft to be committed to AAA gaming, then so be it. But I don't know. Are they still going to be in this business in 5 to 10 years from now? We'll see.
The thing is that we're assuming that those are AAA games. We're assuming they have not shown how those games are going to be delivered to us. Is Fable going to be episodic?
Yeah.
Look how they neutered Halo. Halo was considered a AAA game. Actually, Initiative was supposed to be quadruple A. They shed it off an A for Perfect Dark. So I don't know what these games are, and that's my question. Is like, they need to show us these games, especially Microsoft had the balls to increase the price to $70 that everybody was worried about. Now they're saying these games are even more value because of the production. So they need to put their money where their mouth is and show that game. So if Redfall has several minutes tomorrow, those several minutes better show that this game is a goddamn Borderlands, it's challenging Borderlands or Far Cry. They already talked too much, I think, and they should have showed the game. But they got to really now show this game. This is a $70 game, apparently. And, and this is the other thing about those games. Redfall and Starfield, they were in development already probably when Microsoft purchased Bethesda. What are the next games from them? Because that's that's the question mark. Like, they might get the Outer Worlds slipped under the rug. Like, here you go. But look at Obsidian's next game. Intimate. And what's Avowed? Like, and look at Ghostwire Tokyo. There's supposedly a rumor that they're making another game. Apparently, that is going to be of a Pentiment size. Well, so why are they making Ghostwire Tokyo for Sony, but going to make a Pentiment-sized passion project for Game Pass under Bethesda? Why is Tangleworks not making something bigger and better on there? See, we need to know what the next games are. They might get some that slip under the rug and slip in, but we need to know what is going on. And all I hear is scoping, cutting out content. Halo had content, 70% of it cut. Where is it? Well, Joseph Staten took it back to the Xbox Publishing. I don't know where it is. But I don't like the constraint and scoping and downscaling of games, because that kind of feeds right into the whole reason why this Game Pass model could hurt. Because these games, I feel, are not being made for the gamer. They're being made for the service and the cloud, whatever the hell they want to do. Make the games for us and show us the games. See, that's the problem. They announced these games that you listed, but they have not shown us this stuff. Why did they have the Horizon showing us all about? They did it with Horizon, Horizon Forbidden West. But look Horizon Forbidden West. They showed the tribes. They showed this. They showed all these different elements of Horizon Forbidden West. If Starfield is so big, why is it being hidden? They should have been talking about a planet a month. There are thousands of planets. Let's talk about every planet each month and what we can do on these planets. This game is so big. Why is it, it's not going to be at this show. It's going to have another show. You have all those games. And then, in addition to all those games, now, tomorrow, they're going to take up 43 minutes of our time showing Minecraft Legends, Elder Scrolls DLC, and Forza Motorsport that have a release date. You have all those games. But every time now, they went and told us 3 years, 4 years in the future, and now they're talking about the next 2 months. What happened to that vision? We need updates.
Well,
and then you hear about all the troubled studios and reboots and stuff. That doesn't give me confidence that these games are bigger and better.
I'd say the answer is wait till E3, and again,
no, shit. I mean, I got it, but I think. Oh shit! I think the problem.
Dude, you said the keywords.
I think the problem with that is that's all. The problem is that's
my finger just got itchy.
That way to E3 has been so used so many times.
E3.
It's almost my god, that's ad nauseum. Like
I think we need to get past the Starfield E3, which this one should be the last one because it's probably going to come out just after E3, like a month or two. So,
oh man,
I mean, it may have to be wait till E3 2024, but it's going to be an E3 one of these days.
There will be a showcase.
Yo, Project Cloud, you don't go back and forth like that.
Man.
My finger just when I hear wait till E3, it just twitches.
Oh man, I think the main thing is like I know Project. You mentioned a lot of titles, but the problem is
that friggin' no games twitch.
Man, you mentioned a lot of titles,
right? I like the clickers. I hear that wait till E3, I start clicking. I'm like. Yeah.
He mentioned a lot of titles, but some of them have bad history.
I'm clicking. Here, wait, E3. Starfield. Mr. Todd Howard, Bomber Jacket, announced that game in 2018 E3 when he was hyping up Forza 76, with the Fallout 76. He talked about Starfield, and he said then he was working on that game prior to that. Dude, we saw 4 minutes of the game, and it was janky ass shooting. They gotta blow that game up and show us that stuff.
Why don't Xbox do like demos or like trials for their games?
We'll see tomorrow. Apparently, no hosts tomorrow.
I mean, Game Pass. According to people, Game Pass is the trial.
Dude, I bet. Oh damn.
Yeah, but I mean, majority of the people that are in their ecosystem are not on Game Pass, but.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say this. My
really buy your games as well.
Shout out to my little bro.
Demos. I think demos have the opposite effect. By the way, I don't think demos are a good thing.
I think so. I think we passed demo. I think demo will do more harm than good. I mean, I'm trying to say that. I'm not trying to say that I'm trying to fight for the consumer. But that's the why I avoid it. I avoid betas and demos. I avoid all that shit. Like it's just whatever. It's a bland thing, right?
Well, nowadays you have to avoid playing your game day one.
I know, right? That's fucking bad now at this point. Like, it's almost like holy shit.
I'm gonna drop this too. Every time you see Todd Howard, just think of him. He looks like an Uber driver. I'm gonna leave it as that.
Oh, see. Let me get the super chat.
He's dressed like an Uber driver every time you see him. Looks like he should be the car parked in the back.
My man's got Lyft. Shout out to Eagles.
Like Lyft, exactly.
My man. Shout out to Eagles Lair. I know it's different currencies, but it still baffles me that I would pay €10 or $10 more for the same service. Why would I pay $70 when I can pay $60? I mean, I know what you mean. But I think Project Cloud mentioned a list of games, but the problem is Microsoft's reputation. Some of those games, their previous predecessors were not that good. Like State Take A2.
You might be seeing some of those games E3 2026 for all we know.
It's like,
oh jeez. I don't know. They got both Phil's gonna come out in a wheelchair.
Yeah, like State of K2, like when people say, like hyping State of K3.
Back in the day when we announced this title,
I was a young man when I showed it.
Yeah, like hyping State of K3, like Really? Perfect Dark, we heard nothing but bad news or bad rumors or things, initiative having issues, and now the project is being co-developed with Crystal Dynamics, but now the rumor is they're focusing on Tomb Raider. And then you got, with Fable and Project, with, what's the developer? Playground, but the heads left, and now they're having trouble. Like this is a whole mess.
Well, Maverick Studios was created from Playground, but that was from the Forza team, I guess. Yeah, well, whatever. It's still like Playground. It's
like you don't hear good news, or at least good rumor, like, oh, Ninja Theory's game is ahead of schedule. It might be an early release in the summer. Rumor. Like, that's a good rumor, but we don't hear that stuff. It's always something's being hauled back, or somebody's leaving, or there's issues. Everwild, even that one you mentioned, they don't even know what Everwild is.
That one is probably in worse shape than ever.
There is no shape.
They rebooted like 5 times or something.
They don't know what to do.
They got Lucid Games, man, who made that wonderful game Xbox fans love, Destruction All-Stars. They made that. Lucid Games now is working on Sea of Thieves with Rare. Why Sea of Thieves? Like, why that game needs support from Lucid Games? I don't know. What the hell's going on all of a sudden? Make new games. Why is a 6-year-old, 8-year-old game?
I think it's really popular development PC, support, right? I think PC's loving that game.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's their PC moneymaker.
I don't know.
Where's the GoldenEye remaster?
You ain't going to season 8 in a game like that if it's not like people playing it. So I mean, that's why you see the support like that.
Yeah.
They took out the PvP playing in that thing because nobody was using it. So I don't know what the hell's going on. They had the whole PvP ships, and they took that out. Now
they took it out because all the Xbox dudes was complaining because the PC dudes was cheating.
No, this was after that. That was like years before that. That was years before that. That's when like whatever was streaming it. Now nobody was playing it, so they pulled it. But now they got whatever it is, whatever is going on. The last thing I saw was the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, did that came out?
Game is
that came out 2 years ago.
The Pirates
of 2020.
Yeah, but did it actually come out?
That was like a year.
Was it last year or 2 years ago?
Did it actually come out?
That came out already. It's done.
They're showing out one day E3s or something like that.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
That game is boo boo, yo.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Boo boo.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. When did that come out? See if these. I think it was 2020.
I don't understand how Sea of Thieves is being played because that game is boo boo.
Dude, the combat sucks, man. Oh my god,
that game is hot garbage.
Please.
Yo, that's why Microsoft don't elevate, man. Because if people playing that, what's the point for me making a game like a God of War or Horizon? People like that. Bullshit. That's boo boo.
Oh, it came out last year. It came out last summer.
I didn't even realize it.
Yeah, I remember they were showing that at one of the E3s.
It was last year. Yeah.
Hey, so let me move on to the last topic. The DualSense Edge. Barry, did you copy it?
Yeah.
No.
Did you?
Thursday,
you got it?
Yeah, I got it. I won't be home though, so I won't be able to use it. But yeah, Thursday's coming in.
Oh, it's coming in Thursday. Oh shit! Yeah. See, I'm trying to decide between that or the Victrix.
Who was the Victrix?
Yeah.
Oh, the Victrix. I think it's like BM. That I think sold out now.
Don't do any bootleg controllers, dude. You gotta do the Edge.
No, the Victrix.
The Victrix is nice.
It's nice.
It probably doesn't have the adaptive triggers and probably doesn't have all the like microphone or whatever, all that stuff.
Yeah. So the main reason is because I'm looking. The only thing that's holding me back from the Victrix because it's dongle. And I'm not liking the sound of that, of using a dongle to connect it. But the reason why the Victrix was because I saw a video of it because Jay Barry put me up on it. What I like is you can change the front face into a 6-button configuration, which makes it
for a fighter.
For fight, exactly.
Oh, damn, can you now? That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool,
man. Persona has it. I
gotta talk to him to see how he likes it. I gotta hit up. Man, Persona, man, do a video. Do a review. Do a review drop. I need to know. The only thing I don't like is the dongle. I didn't know that you have to plug it into a USB port.
It's probably connected to like Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's not actually Bluetooth enabled, which I was hoping that it was, but Apparently,
it doesn't have the rumble, like the 3D rumble, does it?
No, I don't. It doesn't have. It doesn't have the Duelsense.
It's not gonna have that Sony that stuff.
You know,
but
I
downgraded the controller.
But what happened?
They downgraded the controller to not have like the full.
No. That's a different brand.
Those are proprietary technologies from the DualSense that a lot of these other ones don't have. But that I like that whole idea of making that a fighting control. That's awesome. That is pretty damn cool.
Yeah, it's a different brand.
That is pretty cool.
So it's not the Dual Edge has haptics. It has everything.
There's no haptic feedback in the Victrix.
Yeah, the Victrix don't have haptic feedback.
And adaptive triggers, it won't have that. It doesn't have a microphone.
Yeah. But I was primarily going to use it in case I got like one for fighters and a blend of shooters for multiplayer. So I wasn't going to use it for single player. But I'm not liking I'm not liking. Let me see if I'll pull it up for everybody to see. I'm not liking the dongle. You know, because if you lose the dongle or any of that shit, or I'm just not feeling that.
Yeah, and those triggers definitely look a little different. A little wider.
Yeah,
the triggers look like the Astro C40.
That's what that's exactly. Yeah.
Let me share my screen so I could give.
I'll probably get like this Victrix for more like a fighting game stuff. Like especially like 3D fighters, because I like to use a controller with 3D fighters.
Yeah, me too, right? I don't want to invest in a fighting stick, but
that D-pad definitely looks a little awkward though, dude.
Yeah.
That D-pad looks. They
got multiple D-pads.
Oh, they got so it's a whole kit. So like you see right here, there's a cross one.
Oh, they do have a cross D-pad. Yeah. Okay, good.
So you see
they got like 3 different D-pads.
They got 2 of them. So they have like the disc one.
So this is the kit right here. Let's see if I click on that. Get a big picture.
And it's cheaper too. Yeah, that's not
$179. Cool. Yeah, it's not bad. Oh man, let me go back. I don't know why. But if you can see here, but if you see right here, you could remove this piece over here and replace it with this piece, and that becomes a 6-button face configuration.
That's cool. I like that.
And then like you could switch. You could flip these around. You can have offset. Just like if you like the Xbox style, or you could have it like the way PlayStation has it, where it's symmetrical. You can replace the D-pad. You see these 3 D-pad options. You can replace the stick. So you got the long stick right here. Pause. You see? You know? But what I really caught my eye was this configuration, because I love the buttons on the face. Like fighters and using triggers or shoulder buttons, it just doesn't flow well with me. You know what I mean? I prefer, like all 6 buttons is on the actual front face. So when I saw that, I'm like, yo, this could be a blend of, the best of both worlds. If I ever want to get back into a shooter, which I want to see like The Last of Us, factions multiplayer. I think I'll get into that. And then, some other stuff. See what Bungie's new project might be in other games. So I'm thinking this one controller might solve 2 issues. A controller for shooters and a controller for fighters.
Well, you like play shooters offset? Like offset?
No, not offset, but I guess like the controller will have, more precise. It has the back paddles, stuff like that.
Yeah. So I do like that. That's the one thing that I'm really like. I'm not getting the controller yet, but the PlayStation controller, I like that they've had those other kind of oval back paddles where you rest your finger on it.
Yeah.
Because having the Elite controller, those ones that are on the back of the back of the controller, I would just rip them off, because they would I would constantly just, when I'm grabbing the controller, press those buttons in the back, and it'll give me all these stray hits and stuff like that. So I do like that design, and that was one of the reasons why I might be considering it, was because of the back buttons, the way they have it like that. I just wish they had more modularity. Like someone cool this. Like if you could remove those analog sticks, I don't want to say, okay, remove them, like replace them. That's nice, but like it would be cool if they made other pieces to go in there to kind of like customize it. That would be cool if they had anything like that for the PlayStation one.
Yeah, I don't like Xbox controllers. I don't really like offset. Offset's not my thing. So I'm not doing it because of offset. Like if I had this controller configuration, it'll stay symmetrical. Obviously, I will use this cross D-pad, hopefully better for the fighter. But this right here is a win, bro. I'm like, I love it. And then the back paddles, You know, I don't mind the lack of haptics because again, I'm not gonna care much about adaptive triggers for multiplayer.
Majority of the games you buy a control like this for, you're not gonna use.
Yeah, you're not gonna use that stuff, right? Yeah. So like the single player games, RPGs, all that stuff, I'll still use my PlayStation 5 controller to get the full experience. But for this specific controller, like Barry said, it's gonna be for fighters and most likely multiplayer. Where you're not gonna care about haptic, DualSense for shooters. In fact, sometimes it might get, especially like the triggers. That's actually kind of annoying for like a multiplayer shooter. You really don't want that. At least I don't like it. I turn it off for like a multiplayer because it's not something. Because it's not something I want. It's not something.
I leave it on. I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, it's not. You know what I'm saying? Immersion's not. I want to whoop a motherfucker's ass.
I'm into immersion. I know my son turns it off, but I like put it on. Like
for single player, I like it because to me it gives the whole environment of immersion. But for multiplayer, I'm trying to dominate. I ain't trying to.
I know, but they did improve in the new Call of Duty because last year's Call of Duty, it was like it would definitely give you a disadvantage. This year's Call of Duty, it's not as bad as like really locking.
No.
It's quicker this year. They fixed it, but last year's it was like you would have to really press it and you would miss shots.
So, shout out to AJ Saeed. Welcome to the 60 Frames No Lag family. Appreciate it, brother. I'm glad you hopping on board. 2023 is going to be big. Well, that's my thing. So I know. Hey, are you going to get this also, Bari? The Victrix? Because I know you are a pro controller hound. Or is this a pass?
It's possible. Like they're not. They're hard to find right now. So, it's possible because like I said, like a game like Tekken, like 8, I would definitely use a controller like this because it has that fight pad type of mechanic. Because like 3D fighting games, I use a controller. I don't use a fight stick for those games. Bro.
Well, yeah, because like a fight pad is pretty. I know what you mean. I get it.
It's harder for me to use a fight stick than with a 3D fighting game. 2D fighting game, I'm fight stick all day. But 3D like Tekken, Soul Calibur, use a controller for that.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So I'm gonna try to get it with Persona because he did have it. I think he forgot to cancel his pre-order. That's why he has it.
How did he get it? Because it says the release is on February 1st.
He pre-ordered it. Yeah, I think he already took a picture.
You got it earlier.
Yeah. And he forgot to cancel.
Pre-ordered it, but he forgot to cancel it.
He forgot. He's like, shit.
I canceled my pre-order
because everybody's saying it says February 1st.
I do have one beef. Hey, this one beef I have one over beef, and I was thinking about it earlier. Spider-Man, but I'm gonna mention it now. Yo, what's up with PlayStation's terrible plate customizations? Like, how come they're not releasing custom plates and shit? They only got the colored shit, and then they stopped with that. Like, where's the God of War cut? Like, are they gonna have a custom plate controller combo for Spider-Man? Like, that's what I was expecting. They haven't done shit with these goddamn plates other than like, granted. To start out with, I get it. You have the black plates, cosmic red, purple. That shit looks nice. But I was expecting like a flood of, like with God of War. I honestly thought they were going to release like a controller custom plate pack. Like what the fuck is going on? Like, do they?
You drop the custom controller, but no plate. Yeah, it's definitely like I don't know what they're doing.
Like what they doing? Yeah. Like I thought they were gonna go ham with that shit. I'm like, they're about to go crazy.
Go ham with it, but.
I don't know if that's to do with the redesign, like if they're waiting for this other redesign and that's the one, but they dropped the ball on those plates, man.
I'm gonna be honest.
They should have had a Horizon one.
They got 30 plus million consoles out there, yo.
I know, man.
I don't think they're gonna do.
They should.
I think I wouldn't be surprised if the new PlayStation is like the current. Like rumor has it, so before
using the same plates.
So yeah, so that way we could all be on the same board. I would not be surprised if the rumor is this PlayStation that's gonna have a removable drive, right? I would not be surprised if this supposed rumored PlayStation is the current disc model that we have, shaped the same way, except when you pop the plate, there's no drive.
Hole in it.
There's a bay. There's an empty bay.
The big bay.
So then you slap in the bay for those that want physical, and then boom, you pop the plate back, and it looks just like the PS5 I got now.
I can't believe it. They could.
Because I don't think they're gonna dramatically change the plates. Because they're gonna find a way to keep it. Like, you know what I mean? Because all you gotta do is just pop it open, have this bay there, slap in the new drive, and then pop the plate back, and boom, you're good.
Yeah, I agree. I think so.
I think that's what they're gonna do. Dude. And then you won't.
They could have sold even one plate.
Yeah.
Just so you could accent your PlayStation. Just put like one plate, like with a Ratchet and Clank or something like that. Like they just have a store of all different plates. Like Xbox, they had it with the 360. Man, they had all those different custom plates.
Yeah. So
shit, I bought the one where you actually could print out your own and and there was a plastic.
Those I see. I see a lot of people printing like on a side deal.
Oh
and
yeah,
I remember
Sony
and Sony was like suing. Yeah. I'm like, why the fuck you suing if you're not gonna do anything yourself? Like yo. So that's my
brand, man. They're the black ones. Yeah.
So that's my beef. Sony really disappointed me with the place because I thought, man,
and the controllers too, man.
There's gonna be
controllers. Like, come on.
I thought they're gonna do like a combo pack, like a God of War controller plate combo. Like, oh shit, they're gonna go ham.
Dude. And even the God of War, yeah, dude. I agree. Like, I don't know why they just do these colors. Like I said, the same thing when Xbox would come out their controllers. Like, make the controllers for the games. Like, who wants like Mystic Blue and Nova Red and like Galaxy Yellow and Galaxy Purple? So like, what the hell out of here? Make God of War, Spider-Man 1, Halo control. Like, just make game controllers over games that we like as collectibles. Don't make these random ass colors.
I mean, make both.
No, at a minimum, big buff. Make both. Yeah, at a minimum, make both.
Yeah,
but they just big butt. So they just made all these plate colors, which is fine. I'm thinking, okay, this is a start, basic. No, I got the purple one. But then they just like that's why I didn't buy anything yet because I'm thinking, all right, I could easily buy. The black plates.
I mean,
I'm partial
I love
to black.
The black controller.
Right? So. Yeah, I'm partial to black. And the black controllers are hard to find. I'm like, shit, I never see them. Like, damn it.
And I also just said the God of War controller, it was cool, but it wasn't like enough. It needed more.
I agree.
It needed more on it.
I agree.
It was a little lacking, that God of War controller.
Yeah, it was just like the wolves, and it was like, oh, okay, but then there's nothing on the handles. There's nothing anywhere else.
Hopefully they do something crazy with the Spider-Man. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, they need something cool.
Something crazy.
That Spider-Man
should come up with 2 different controllers.
Oh, man. I bought that thing. I bought the whole goddamn console again. I needed a fourth. It was like my 5th PlayStation. I was like, I just want the game to I'm like, oh crap, they got the console. I bought the PlayStation Spider-Man.
The Spider-Man, the red one.
Yeah. Oh man.
So hopefully awesome. They do that with the plates.
Like, they need to.
Yeah.
Spider-Man control.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like have a bundle, man. But I don't know, man. What do I know?
No, think about if they made a Spider-Man control with one side of it is Miles and one side of it's Spider-Man.
Or then, 2 different ones.
Each other, dude.
Like one for Miles, one for.
Or the plates itself. Yeah, like you said, the plates. Or maybe a Venom plate.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That
dude, I'm buying a Venom plate. Holy crap. Yes. My Venom's my favorite. Yeah.
Well, they're gonna have a black plate, but then the actual PlayStation, the actual piece that's black, it will be white. They haven't really announced it yet. That's breaking news right
now. What?
That's
what?
What do you mean? The PlayStation is white and black in the middle. The Venom one will be black out to the outside and white in the middle.
Okay,
you're talking about a whole new console? You're talking about the whole new console? Like they're gonna have a limited edition console?
Yeah. And with a red light. That's what I've been told.
I don't want to see no red light.
No, red light. That red LED.
That
red LED light.
Okay. Yo, imagine that thing on red. It'll be like, send it back.
Oh yeah, you think it'll work? You're like, what the fuck?
Like a red light. Okay. Yeah. You don't want red lights showing on any console.
They should make the LED customizable. It would actually be cool. Like if your PlayStation is on, you can actually change the color of the LED.
Oh, I bought the I bought the strips. I
see. You know what I'm saying? There should be software.
Blaze 4K.
It is multicolor.
I see people they tape the light or something like that with
that's what I got.
Like a clear tape, and then automatically changes the light or some shit.
Yeah, I bought Blaze 4K had it, and I bought them, and they're basically the stickers. You put them all over the lights, and it basically lights up. The PlayStation when it's on, it goes white light. So like you could put different colors on there, and it actually is the PlayStation colors. So it's really cool the way they work. They're like $10. They're cheap.
Okay, look at the corny shit we gotta do. Fucking PlayStation, man.
Dude, that's why PC gaming, man. Those RGB lights. That's crazy.
Guys,
dude,
the Philips.
I got lights all over the place.
What's that Philips?
The Hue.
The Hue. Oh my god, I didn't see that. When I saw that shit, I was like, wow.
The whole house is flashing when you're playing the game. It's like,
yeah. All right, man. We're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna start doing the outros. All right, we're gonna kick it off with B Staples, who's watching the Knicks. I didn't know you a Knicks fan.
Nah, I was just on the TV, and
man.
I'm waiting for something to play, man. I need a damn game to play.
Play Forspoken.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Well, what about Dead Space? Anybody getting Dead Space? You getting Dead Space?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. I'm getting
Friday.
that.
That's coming out Friday.
Waiting for.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, that game gonna be crazy.
My man.
But
play your backlog. You ain't got no backlog game. You play Returnal?
Yeah, I beat that already.
All right, good. My man. That's what
it's there. I get to it eventually. Okay. I don't know.
All right.
But for outro, look, man, we got this event tomorrow. Y'all about to see Forza. You know what I'm saying? The marquee racing franchise in gaming. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna remind folks tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? You're about to see Redfall, Arcane don't miss, y'all know the motto. You know what I'm saying?
The miss sales.
It's about to be a big deal.
Hey, question.
Look, they don't miss quality, man. So that matters.
What have y'all covered up so far, man?
You came at the end.
No, we out, bro. Like, listen, we already said check, please. We already said check, please.
All I know is PlayStation taking over this generation.
I'm saying, listen, bro. We already got check, please. We already ate dessert.
I'm just being realistic. Now, you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys already addressed the fact that Xbox has lost 10,000 employees. If that was the right amount.
What we address
Game Pass is in the drought right now. I don't care what nobody tells me.
I'm gonna tell you what we address.
Accepting third-party games. We're looking for exclusivity.
Yo,
I want competition.
Lost 2001.
What's wrong with third-party games, bro?
Because they want to claim they're playing games like actual games, but we're talking about exclusivities, my man. If we're about that console war competition nonsense.
He said, my man about this war. He's like, he ready to war. I'm just saying this. All I know is you are sitting right next to me on that couch because the Cowboys lost 2. We both together.
Man,
listen. All I know is
the sectional couch. We're all sitting on it.
All I know is you can wear your cowboy cap. All I know is we both watching 49ers and Eagles together. And don't worry, after next week, Philadelphia's gonna be sitting right next to us.
That's right.
Right now, we got Washington, Dallas, and the Giants. We just wait for the Eagles to come. Like, they playing around too much. Like, come on, Eagles, stop playing around. Have this seat. Have this seat right here. All right, we NFC East all gonna be chilling on that couch watching the Super Bowl. All right.
Oh my god!
All right, we just wait for the Eagles to sit right next to us. You know what I'm saying? We're all gonna be together. NFC
East, that seat warm.
NFC East is gonna enjoy some Super Bowl. We're gonna have some wings. Yeah. We're gonna drink some, we're gonna drink some Modelo. We're gonna be chilling all together. East Coast gonna be.
We're gonna watch Rihanna at halftime.
That's it.
Rihanna.
We're gonna drool over Rihanna. But the NFC East is gonna be on that couch. All of us together, happy, one happy family.
Hey, at least we're all good. At least the whole NFC was pretty damn good this year. Remember
I ain't gonna lie. I remember
5 and 10.
Oh my god, we were looking like the NFC South. Yo, it was bad. I remember that one year.
Like,
god damn, it was
6
bad.
and 7.
And I think Dallas won the division.
Yeah, like with a losing record, man. I was like,
my god, it was bad. That year was bad. I was like, man, this is pathetic.
Horrible.
So we're gonna do our outro. We're gonna start out with the Messiah.
Thanks for having me. Great panel. Shout out to everybody here. Shout out to special guest Jez, and certainly hope that everybody has a good rest of the week.
All right. Okay, we got Extreme.
Yo, I only want one thing tomorrow from Microsoft. I want a showcase so awesome that PlayStation has to respond. That's what I'm expecting. That's what my expectations are at. That's it. That's all I need from them.
Okay.
That's my outro.
All right. Okay. Very good to go. We got my boy, Jay Barry.
Yeah, I agree, man. PlayStation, regardless of how dog shit this show gonna be, I need you to respond. With a showcase. You know what I mean? What you doing first party? But yeah, man, great show. P-Rock, man. It was fun. And we'll see you guys next time.
No doubt, man. And then, of course, we got Uses dropping like last minute after the party's over. He that one dude that comes into the club when it's about to close. Like, bro, what are you doing, bro? The lights is on. We're playing the slow music. You gotta go. This guy coming in, bro. Yeah, shout out to Uses. And, of course, we got our guest. The guest, thank you so much. Jez, it was a long time coming, and we made it happen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man!
Yo,
hey, thank you so much.
It's the Game Pass prize, yo.
Oh shit! This guy. Listen. We out of here, bro. The club is closing. Stop hollering at her. She said no. That's it, bro. We had all night to get her number.
The whole time.
The strobe lights.
It was great. Thank you, dude. Thank you so much, man. Awesome show. Speaking to everybody, hit that like button, everybody. Thank you again for the invite. And yes, this was a long time coming. And definitely check out the Gaming Grindhouse on Monday nights at 8 p.m. And yeah, awesome time, man. Thanks again.
Right, thank you so much. Hey, to the chat, man, thank you so much for rocking out. To the members, to the new members of the channel, thank you so much for coming through. But I hope everybody got to enjoy today's show. I will have so next week there will not be a 60 frames no lag. So there'll be no podcast next week, only because on Friday I'm heading out to go on a cruise. So I'll be on the cruise for the whole week. So I'll probably be out in the dark. So if there's any rumors that I got canceled or shut down or whatever, no. Tell them I'm out in the Bahamas. You know what I'm saying? China recover from the Giants losing. You understand what I'm saying? So, but I will see you the week after on Tuesday. Until then, thank you so much. Love you guys. Thank you guys for rocking out. This is your boy Puerto77, and we are out of here.